and we've posted on Twitter. Boom, we remembered. We posted on Blue Sky. Boom, we remembered. Boom, we put a message in the Discord. We remembered. We're so good at this now. Just wait till I actually, put work into developing the live side of things. Wouldn't that be a fascinating day for us all? Oh, I just had a concerning thing where I thought it was not live for a second. I was like, oh, really? We're really doing this? All right, this game should be a doozy. I'm excited. Obviously, I'm a bit early, but that's okay because there's so much to talk about. So much to consider. I'm excited about this one in a big way. Oh, I didn't know I could start. That's what I need to do. I need to grab the trivia book, too. That's what I need. Oh, baby. That's what I need. Okay, good. All right, we are set. We are thriving. We're ready. I have a lot of work to do on end of the season stuff, but one of the things that I'm really looking at is trying to dive in to what the trade market is going to look for the Bruins, because there's not a lot of free agency talk that's really going to be happening because the free agency class sucks, which I can actually bring that up too. Why not? Why not? It's a typical what went wrong for the Bruins article. I kind of repost that every year. You could probably get away with it. Where was the... There was a free agency big board that The Athletic put up that I'm using as a cheat sheet. There we go. There we go. Which I think we can talk about a little bit during this stream as well. Hello to you, to those of you who are watching and hanging out. Again, I know it's very early. We've got a ways to go before the game starts. Definitely going to need to turn the fan on in here. But like I said, we'll have plenty to talk about as we work our way towards it. The free agency big board is a absolute disaster. It's not what you're looking for. Actually, I'm going to turn the fan on right now. Well, I take a sip of my beer. Bop, bop, bop. We don't need that thing going full speed. You will hear it if we do. Any predictions on this series so far? Obviously, the Sabres come away with the first win, but most of the play seems to have been run by the Habs, in my opinion. Which, of course, you could take one of two directions. One being that the Sabres are, just a confident bunch and they can work their way through a poor possession game pretty effectively and still come out on top. Or you could take it as the Habs are due for a better result if they can repeat that kind of performance. It really just depends on whose side you're on as which way you're going to go with that. And I don't think it was egregious. I don't think one team deserved to run over the other by any means. Let's see what the deserve to win meter had. Actually had Buffalo with the deserve to win on that first one, I guess. Yeah, maybe I overemphasized the shot totals. This Buffalo team's good. Really, really good. Can't really argue against that, I am interested to see how this one turns out. I don't know if this is a team that, who comes out of this series. You know how you look at the West sometimes, there's certain series where you go, whoever comes out of that is probably your finalist. I think regardless, you're going to have a really, really tough fight in the Eastern Conference Finals for either team going against what will definitely be the Canes, obviously. But the stranger things have happened. They could blow it, I guess. I doubt it, but they could. It's a possibility. We've seen the Bruins do it. Obviously, that was 16 years ago or whatever it was now, and did require an injury to our top line center. That'll help. Plus a 3-goal lead being blown. God, the memories of that one are still pretty fresh, despite being in 2010. Boston sports, they do get away. It's funny how often we get to look at other franchises and talk about just the disaster that they are and the heartbreaks they've had. And like the Leafs are so easy to pick on, but you go through Boston sports and boy, if they had a lot of those moments too. Just a lot of them. You hate to see it. I do like that the people are kind of waking up about Benson and how effective that guy is. I mean, obviously he's been red hot to start these playoffs, but he's just a perfect mix of rat and effective NHL player, which, you hate to see, but unless it's on your team, here's what it is. Stream picked up. Sound just suddenly started. I am also in my fantasy football draft, but we have 8-hour timers for our pick. So it gets to us and an 8-hour timer starts. It's supposed to take about a week. This is a rookie draft, though, in a dynasty league. So it's not obviously that long of a draft. It should probably take a day or two. But when my pick comes up, I will probably make my pick. I'm well prepared for who I'm grabbing at this point. It always blows my mind when we did this to start the league, and you have so much prep time for your picks, and people are still like 6 hours in. They're like, "Oh, I got to make my picks." Just pick your damn guy. It's tough, tough, tough. B Ken, how are you? Uh, wow, I might be on a huge delay now that I think about it because Montreal to win. I feel like I asked that a while ago, so maybe I got to look at that. I don't know if I want Montreal to win. I have them moving on in my bracket. But I get it. Like, I don't know if that's more of a screw the Sabres thing or there's also a generation, maybe a generation is the wrong word, but there are a younger portion of the fan base who just don't care about the Habs Bruins rivalry quite that much. And I don't say that as an insult by any means. I find it weird when people are like, well, back in my day, like, that's fine. Habs are still the biggest rival to me. But a lot of younger fans I've talked to just don't put any credence into it. They don't put any worth into it. So they're just like, bah, whatever. Whereas I will pretty much always hate the Habs. Avs looks scary good and Canes looks scary good, looking like it goes that way, but we shall see what happens. Justin, that's kind of where I'm at. If the Avalanche get wiped out before the finals, I'll be shocked, or it'll be injury related. Canes, if they can't do it this year, this is what was really fascinating. Before the playoffs start, there was a conversation about if the Canes can't do it this year, knowing that they are the first seed, they're getting a 1v8 matchup in the first round. They're likely getting one of two very surprising teams in the second round who had a lot of question marks about what they could do. So basically, we're joking, but a bye in the second round. We're joking, but not really joking. And then, obviously, conference finals, you're going to face a good team. And then the finals, you're going to face a good team. But if you can't get to at least the Stanley Cup finals this year, the question was, does somebody get fired? Is Rod the Bod on the chopping block? Like, what happens? And a resounding, I made this argument, and then I asked Canes fans, and a resounding response of Rod's not going anywhere. We love him. It's fine. Even if they don't make it. Now, obviously, Reddit's probably going to say something different if they do get eliminated before the Cup finals. But I did find that really interesting that they just have a lot of faith in that guy. Teach Kuzi some rat tricks. He can be a fast menace. Love his exit interview. Wants to score and communicate. It's Smoke Channels. I'm so with you, by the way. I think it's less of teach him some rat tricks and more he's going to get more comfortable in the league. And with that kind of motor and his fearless approach to scrums and net front battles, I honestly think that will naturally develop. I think by the time he's 25, 26, he's going to be the type of guy in the playoffs. You're like, I hate that dude. Not us, if he's on the Bruins, obviously, but just people are going to hate that kid. I keep saying it. I've said it literally a dozen times over the past week and a half. I have to know what Huzdinov's prime looks like. I need to know what he looks like at 25 years old as a Boston Bruin. I need that because there is at least a roadmap that he figures out how to operate at his smaller stature, which I think he's already 80% there of figuring that out. And some of the other things catch up a little bit, the hands and the ability to finish. Could be a really good second line guy, despite his size. There's just a lot to be excited about. I am well. Thank you for asking. What up? What up? Red Sox diehard? Absolutely. Go Bees. Bring back the rivalry. I can feel it brewing. The Bruins have to be good next year. The Habs will be good next year. The Bruins have to be good next year. I have a lot of concerns about what the roster is going to look like. I have a lot of concerns about how a lot of people had a career year this year for the Bruins. A lot of things went right for the Bruins to make the playoffs. Can they repeat that? Can they be better than just repeating it and actually have some underlying green flags rather than red flags all season? A lot of conversations to have. He's just going to naturally piss people off. Absolutely. I agree. I totally agree. Who is a non-obvious top center the Bruins could maybe target besides Thomas, Pettersson? Have you gone through non-playoff teams this season, see if anyone even exists? So we're going to spend some downtime during the stream talking about that because I think we're going to do a video on trade targets before we do a video on draft guides because the trade targets are more interesting than the free agency targets, which there are very minimal of. But I don't have a name off the top of my head. And Pettersson should be an absolute no. He had another season in which he looked really shaky. He makes $1 billion. It's too risky. Because unless Vancouver's like, this is a cap dump, we will give him to you with like draft capital, which I can't imagine they're going to do, right? I can't imagine because they're having the same conversations about buyout stuff as we are with Elias. I mean, that's a real conversation in Vancouver threads. So, yeah, we can't trade for him and give up assets. That's just insane to me. Crazy that Kuzi and Minton are following the Marchand Bergeron development path. Yes. But if you look up box score watching, I understand this is infallible, but not infallible. I know the definition of the word. If you look up the ages and the point totals and the things these guys were accomplishing, at least for Bergeron, it's a bit different. Let me make sure that's right, actually. Let's just make sure. Let's go to Bergeron. Because I'm fairly certain Bergeron was putting up the points early on. How old was he in his rookie season again? Born in 85. Rookie season was 2003, 2004. Shoot, really? He was 19? I always forget. For some reason, I thought it was a slower. Yeah, when he was 2 years younger than Minton, he put up 40 points in his first year, and then 73 after the lockout year. So at the time that he was Minton's age, 73 points in 81 games. So as far as development, sure, but it's a little different. Pettersson would be a more expensive Elias, yeah. Maybe he bounces back. I'm rooting for the kid. I am. I have no reason to root against him. It's just, yikes. Bruins had the opportunities to go 3-0 with the Sabres, but obviously they aren't so far, yeah. My hot take is, we got hot takes? Yes. And people, throw in the chat. I'm going to start taking down notes for trade targets because we're going to do a video on that at some point. And for those of you who are showing up a little late, not late, obviously the game hasn't even started, but I am in my fantasy football draft, but we have 8-hour timers to make our pick, but I will still be checking it because I'm a problem like that. So there'll be moments where I'm looking at my phone for a moment. Sorry, hot take. If Brady Tkachuk does want out of Ottawa, the Bruins should trade for him. Should trade for Tim Stützle. Great speed and scoring ability to play with Pasta. Just got to put the diving aside. I could have Tim on our team. Stützle, because I love saying the name, just like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I love saying the name. He's a diving little bitch, and I hate watching him play, but I cannot. That's not enough for me to be like, I would hate him on the Bruins fully, because he's also an extremely effective, fast, really good forward. Why, Chief? You got to explain yourself though, because why would Ottawa trade Stützle if Brady Tkachuk wants out? You think they'll reset the whole franchise? Curious your reasoning. Evo, I'm disappointed in you on the simulcast with Diehards. You didn't give Peak an F. I didn't. I couldn't because my expectations for him were so low. And yeah, that's basically it. I hated watching him play. And I can't deny that there is a section of this fan base that really does disagree with me heavily on that. So I tried to put it sort of in the middle there, which is a D-. So Evo, do you like the simulcast? How do you think that went? And for those of you who don't know, Bruins Diehards and myself collaborated on a player grades at the end of the season, along with a little talk about the lottery. So if you want to check that out on my channel, it's under collaboration. On his, it should be front and center. We're still figuring out how that works when sharing one video between channels. What's up, Blackhawk? Justin, Bruins got to start hitting in the draft to build some centers. Centers are a premium for trade. I feel like there's been some upside to drafting over the past couple of years. Obviously, nothing in particular has launched us or anything like that, but I've liked some of the profiles we've been going after. What up? Man, I have such bad eyesight. I really need to get glasses badly, actually. I have an astigmatism. NCI AMPA. What's up? I had to highlight it just so I could see it bigger. Thought the simulcast was great. Great. We had a lot of fun with it. I love talking to Court. He's a good dude. Smart guy. I enjoy him. My Canes friend is sending me stats that are absurdly positive for the Canes. Screw this guy. He says the Canes have 5 minutes of 5-on-3 in the playoffs and have allowed 3 shots in that time. And our PK has a plus-minus of 0. The Canes team is a wagon. The problem is if the Canes ever do win the cup, or once they win the cup, whatever you want to say here, it's not going to be fun anymore, right? Because now that team's just a juggernaut that does know how to win. And a lot of the joy that I have with the Canes is going to go out the window. Chief, I guess I do think they've reset the franchise. I guess it's just pie in the sky thinking, but the locker room over there seems kind of toxic, so they might want a full reset. I don't think you're crazy. I don't think they would, so I disagree with you on that. But I just want clarification of the take, because it's possible that ownership group goes, all right, well, we got to reset here. The reason I don't think they would, and why you probably went, oh, this is probably pie in the sky thinking, is because you do have Sanderson. And you do have Ullmark, who, rough season aside, has shown that he's a good goaltender. You have Stützle. There's another big one I'm really missing on that team. But you have the franchise pillars to build around, I guess, is the point I'm making. What up, Midwest Glue? Yeah, we're going to stream through this Sabres Habs game, and then I want to talk during it, especially during intermission, a little bit about not free agency targets. We'll talk about free agency. I have the free agency big board up, but also the trade targets that the Bruins might look into. Remember earlier in the season when Batherson was the one I was missing, or someone else maybe, when he called out Marilainen directly to the media for playing poorly. Yeah, that whole locker room situation has been awful. The Tkachuk's podcast has not gone over well by general rumors with a few of these guys. Obviously the Ullmark situation was awful. I hate that we know so much about these guys' personal lives, or it's not even we know. We make so many assumptions about these guys' personal lives. They're athletes, right? Like if there's something that makes a person despicable to me, then yeah, I want to stop rooting for that player and be like, fuck you, I'm out. But also there's certain things where it's just a bummer. We shouldn't know these things, and they should be real people who get to work through this stuff. Like, I will never defend a guy for cheating, like the Vrabel stuff. I'm never going to defend him, or I'm blanking on her name, but the reporter for this cheating nonsense that's going on. I'm not going to defend either one of them. I also just don't think we should know about it, right? I don't think there should be 600 articles on failing marriages, right? I find it weird and gross. Could offer sheet Robertson? You literally could. I mean, this is hold on. Is there a calculator? Do they have an offer sheet calculator on Puckpedia? Offer sheet tracker. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's do this. All right. Above 11.7 mil AAV, which Robertson absolutely would be, is 4 first-round picks over the next 5 drafts starting 2027. Wow. You could do that. I don't I wonder if it has to be your own picks, though. I don't know enough about this. Does anybody know if it has to be your pick or any first-round pick? Because you literally could say the Leafs, the Panthers, both the Bruins, there's your Robertson trade. We're giving you 4 firsts for Robertson, which I would think about. I literally would. Would you trade for Byfield or Blake from LA? Neither one's going to be. I mean, they're trying to build around those guys. They will not be available in a way that makes sense for the Bruins, I don't think. I would trade for both of those guys, honestly. It'd be the funnest thing in the world if they went 8-0 and then got swept again in the Eastern Conference Final. Kind of rooting for it. It's just hilarious. It's just good, clean fun. Good, clean fun. And yeah, that rod presser would be incredible. Shane Wright, that's a buy low candidate. Evo, peak is an F. It's $50 to fuck cancer. Again, the reminder, everything's going to charity during the playoffs. Guys, we've already raised over $2,000. We've already raised over $2,000. How cool is that? I'm just saying. That's pretty freaking cool. So $50. Thank you for the generosity. Thank you for the charity. Peak is an F. Honestly, you don't have to convince me, right? Like, I'm sold. And remember, for this simulcast, for the letter grades, we ended up doing a tier system. So F was off the board, right? F meant you didn't even make the list. Well done, Evo. Cheers to that. Cheers to you all. Friday night, baby! That is a lot of picks, yep. Yeah, I think the only way I consider it is it does have to be your own picks. Man, that really makes me sick again. I don't know. Go Habs, go. All right. I want to see this series go 7, so I'm with you on that. I think I'll be rooting for the Habs in this game. Let's see. It is still not my pick in the rookie draft for my Dynasty Football League. We are 37 minutes into this guy's pick. He knows he's up. I can see him on the thing. I just don't know why you need that much time. It's a 10-person Dynasty Football League. I'm thinking about taking Stowers with my first pick. I don't pick till the second round, though. I made some wheeling and dealing deals. I love a good trade. Just looking it up, it has to be your own picks. We get to keep the Leafs and Panthers picks, but we wouldn't have our own picks for the next 4 years. There's a real debate about what is more valuable, the Leafs and the Panthers pick or 4 Bruins picks. There's a huge risk there, though, because the Bruins are very much primed for a huge step back based on pure, overachieving this year. We'll see. Evo, you're a stud. Absolute stallion. Prediction for tonight? 5-4 overtime win by Montreal. Go Sabres. All right, there you go. I think there's a lot of Sabres fans that, and by a lot, but that watch my channel. I feel like I frequently get Sabres opinions throughout. God, Evo, $50. That's just awesome, man. That's just so freaking cool. You rock. You absolutely rock. Yeah, I do want to go through. I think I want to go through every single roster on Puckpedia and then just I think of a fictional trade for every team. And also, for those of you who listen to the Short Shift podcast, we are accepting voicemails or fan mail messages for trades that you want to do, but you have to have thick skin because there's a real possibility that you get dunked on if we don't agree with it. So that was the caveat that we put during the recording. So have at it if you want to. And remember, if you love the trade, the other team's probably saying no. Hear me out. 1 first, 1 second, and Mitten for Adam Fox. I don't do it, actually. I think Adam Fox is awesome. I think he's awesome. And he's certainly worth that package. In fact, I bet the Rangers say no to that. But this team is very hard-pressed for center help. And Mitten does have a 2C ceiling. Is he developing? Is his development a little behind what a standard, like, hey, you're going to be a great 2C would be? Maybe by a year-ish, right? His point totals and whatnot. But he also played all year on the third line, right? So, I don't know. I'd have a hard time moving off a very interesting young center like Mitten for another right-handed defenseman, even though we need it. Gin and tonic time. Hell yeah. How old is Robertson? 26? I think that's right. I think he's 26. I can tell you right now. Hold on. Robertson is 26. Perfectly fits the timeline. Goes to the left of Pasta. And that becomes a very interesting line immediately. Especially if you have a guy like Fraser Minton who's taking steps defensively and has looked good defensively. Got a real doozy of a trade idea for the Short Shift voice line. Can't wait to be called a moron for it. Yes. If you got that, save it. Like, if that's what you're doing, save it for the Short Shift. I'll be doing my own kind of stuff in the future with it, but I'm looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. Oh, I'm so ready for this game to start, though. You know, has anyone ever gone to one of these crowd events where you're literally just standing outside watching a big screen for the sport? Because that does not seem pleasant to me. Is Gronk in the house? Wait, that wasn't Gronk, was it? I have this muted right now. Was that Gronk in a Buffalo jersey? Well, Twitter's going to tell me immediately if I go over there. No, it didn't tell me immediately. Damn. Damn. I have too many tabs open right here. The free agency board is terrible. That is just gross. Just gross. Was that Gronk? I need someone to confirm that for me. What the hell, dude? My favorite videos. He's from Buffalo. I never knew that. This is how much I don't know about athletes. I hate when someone's like, what college did they go to? I was like, I don't know, man. They got drafted and now they're on my team. That's what I care about. Thank you for the information. I appreciate that, though. My favorite TikTok videos right now are Thad Castle and Gronk. Gronk being the real life Thad Castle. Because it's true. Gronk he's like proudly stupid. He's never pretended to be smart. He knows that he's kind of dumb and he just leans right into it. Good for him. I love the 8-hour timer for picks in the Fantasy Football League, but I also friggin' hate it because I just want to make my pick and keep moving. Any gems in the rookie class for football that I should be aware of, guys? Give me fantasy football advice. I also start working on my my fantasy hockey stuff. The thing is, when it's your league, you can't miss the playoffs. Do you have to win it every year? No, but you can't have a bad year, and so there's a lot of pressure. A lot of prep goes into that. Yeah, the CTE will do that to you. I'm pretty sure he got before the CTE. I'm pretty sure this man was unique far before that. We have a 24-hour timer for picks in Dynasty. Oh, so you also got a rookie draft. When does your rookie draft start? Tarasenko might be an interesting free agent signing, so as long as he isn't too expensive. And he'd be like your Arvidsson replacement, right? He's the aging guy that you're throwing on the second line, just hoping it works. Like selling a second for Carlo. Carlo's had a couple bad years in a row. Fantilli, that's an interesting one. I feel like wouldn't Columbus be working really, really hard to keep him though? God, we would have a lot. I mean, this is just youth on youth on youth. Yeah, 59 points last year. I don't see how that's happening unless he asks for out, right? I mean, I want him. Oh, they haven't updated you yet on the draft? Yeah, we just started at noon today. Oh wait, a pick has been made. Yes, he took Sadiq. Okay, so I had the 7th overall pick. I traded out of the first round. It was a big trade. But I ended up with Drake London out of that, which has its own risks. I know Tua is now his quarterback, which is tough, but it was not a 1-for-1 either. There was a lot of moving parts. But I do have the second pick in the second round, and I'm pretty sure I'm taking Stowers. If you have 4 first-round picks outside of the top 5 or 10, you statistically still wouldn't catch a player like Robertson. Still should think about it. Yes. Yes. If you do that, you are also keeping the Panthers and the Leafs pick at that point. You're just, we can't not have any picks. Would love Robert Thomas. Don't think we can make it work, though. Depends on how much they value that Leafs pick. If they think the Leafs in 2 years could still be pretty ass and it's unprotected. Now, I know there's a whole 2027 conversation, but it's likely going to be a 2028. Yeah, I think they'd have a hard time letting go of Fantilli. Still, no bad ideas in brainstorming. Keep them coming, you know? Keep them coming. Perfetti, also an RFA. I love Cole Perfetti. The problem is, I'm pretty sure this is the year that he, like, statistically started to make good on all that promise. Like, not in a huge way. No, it wasn't 32 points. I did not pay attention to Winnipeg at all this year. Wow. He would be interesting. He's 24, though, and he still can't put it together. It's just... Also, the one thing with Perfetti is I haven't loved his board work. So if we're talking about, improving forecheck and things like that, he's not really that guy. We do need more offense. We really do. We badly need a healthy Hampus Lindholm. No, we could really use a healthy Hampus Lindholm, but we need some help on the left side, particularly that top pair. We need help on the right side. Speaking defense right here. And then we basically, any good forward, I don't give a shit which position they play. I like them, yes. Nebich by far the most fascinating player that may or may not be available because there's a lot of congestion on the blue line for the Devils. Does he have one more year before he's an RFA? No, he's an RFA this upcoming year. And it does seem like the organization has had some frustrations with him. I don't know. I'm curious because an offer sheet to him, especially if you could do a bridge deal offer sheet and he wanted out, you'd get him. But if you do a bridge deal offer sheet and he accepts it, all you did was the Devil's job for them, right? And they can just sign him to that. Jamie Drysdale is an RFA. I would be shocked if the human element here, the Flyers feel like they're building something. They should feel like they're building something, right? I think he'd want to stick around. So he'd just be using it as a bargaining chip to get whatever he needed money-wise for the Flyers. We've been lucky at reclamation, though, so take that into account. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, let's call it a mixed bag, right? Because there's a couple guys, Wallstrom, Reichel, that have come in that have been like, eh. Dorofeyev, that's another, like, he's going to get a real contract. That'll be an interesting one, too. And again, what does Vegas value him at? What player picks do you think we can package for scoring forward? You are like that Toronto pick. You're very much considering moving. I mean, really, all of your picks for the right guy are, available. Varying values there. Um, Players, like sell if someone's interested, but it's not going to have really any value. Uh, oh, if he could have handled that puck a little better. Wow, they just get set up so quickly, though. Oh, it's in! It's in immediately! It's in immediately! Alex Newhook, by the way, has been an absolute stud so far through these playoffs. He's so good. Team needs a true leader. They don't have one. That's a deep conversation, honestly. That's a big one. Boston Matthews for their first back. What a good start for Montreal. Yeah, players we would package to move out, like Lorai absolutely would be packaged. Oh, that's leaky by Lyon. Oh, was it tipped? Oh, maybe. Chinnikov, also very interesting. And he hits too. A lot of bounces early in this one. Man, I guess the Bruins don't have a ton of guys that they would like package to send out. No one's nailed down, right? Like everyone for the right price, but like you could make a Zaka argument, but he's been so good and such a versatile forward that it feels like you're taking a step back by losing him. I'd like to move Steve's. I can't believe they scored already. All right, I'm still waiting on my pick. It's going to be Stowers unless something changes. I've got McBride, I've got Pitts, but I don't have anyone behind them, and I could use a little more depth at that position. Especially there's no QBs in this rookie draft that are really worthwhile taking. I'm just going to be mixing between football and, and hockey here. Saka looked invisible in the playoffs. Yeah, no, that line really, really struggled, especially after Arvidsson went down. It's hard to judge it too deeply off of 6 games when Zaka had been. I mean, he'd just been everything you needed to be through the whole regular season, even in his slow moments. Oh, I thought I went in. Wow. Steve's named to the World Championship team. What nationality is Steve's? Look at the speed these two teams play with. Like, I just struggle envisioning the Bruins in a series like this right now. Not the end of the world. They just have a lot of improvements to make. Only real untradables are Pasta, McAvoy, Sway, and of course, Don's Smells. Actually, I should have mentioned him. There's going to be a team out there that is probably very interested in him. I would be devastated, obviously, if he got. Oh, these turnovers. That's a good save. Steve did not get named to the. Are you serious? You guys are fucking with me, right? Oh my god. Did everyone die? Did every hockey player in the US just drop dead? What? Guys, I'm gonna get a little fucked up tonight, and at like 11 p.m. I'm gonna make pierogies. I'm so excited. You know, I can't even explain to you how excited I am about this. I've been thinking about 11 p.m. Friday night pierogies since like Monday. I'm very excited about this. Yeah, he was at the Sabres game. How about that? The Gronk. I can't. I don't. Team USA is a bunch of rookies, prospects, depth players, and Matthew Kachuk. See, this feels like the tsunami kind of thing. I have the snowball. Snowball is a better way to put it. Oh, Matheson, one of the most underrated offensive defensemen in the league, by the way. Also, couldn't believe they didn't move him. They're so happy they didn't move him. This is 2 years ago. They should have traded him at the trade deadline because he would have got you a ransom. But holy, nice shot. If I'm Matthew Kachuk, so let me. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. I see that the world's team is a bunch of rookies, prospects, depth players. Why am I risking my health for this shit? Right? Like, what are we doing? I don't know. And I understand that for many, it's the you're representing your country and all that kind of stuff. I just, dude, the Panthers had a tough season. You got to get back and get back healthy. Maybe it's more of a conditioning stint for him. I don't know. Habs needed this kind of start. And the thing is, they're capable of it, you know? Habs are just capable of a 5 minute, 10-minute span where they just start ripping them in. And if you're Buffalo, though, and this is how much Buffalo has impressed me through the playoffs so far, I don't think they're worried. It's super early. They're capable of scoring goals. Yeah. Scouting for Bill Zito. Look, Kachuk's a great hockey player. I cannot imagine he's a great scout. Those are two very different skill sets. Buffalo really is a physical team. Bet more players would go if they didn't win the gold a few months ago. Yeah, I bet you're probably right. It's kind of like I think a lot of it is turning into like the all-star stuff for the NBA, where a lot of the NBA just goes, I don't really want to go. I don't really care about it. It's doesn't do anything for me. No one takes it seriously. Now, obviously, players still take it seriously, but I think it's bleeding into that. Just want to say that I hate Toronto. Yes. I just this is why I didn't care about that pick or it could be a 6 overall pick. I kept saying like I'm not going to get too invested until the balls fall because there was just as or almost just as likely a chance that we didn't get it as we did. That's all it is. I think Habs will win the series. I think it comes down to goaltending. Dobish has been great. Alex Lyon has had a hell of a season. He's had a really, really good year. But I do have the Habs moving on as well. But shit, I had the Bruins beating the Sabres, so I'm no expert. Can we finally be rid of Corpusalo? They'll definitely look into moving him. DiPietro has just won the MVP of the AHL, and he's 2 years in a row. He's been the best goaltender in the league. Like, I don't even care if DiPietro's not ready. Just get him up, see what happens. Corpusalo lost us as many games as he won. Like, yeah, I just can't get that far with that. Kachuk has an ego the size of Texas, since he couldn't use it in the playoffs. This would be his next best thing. And frankly, I can respect that. I don't respect the Kachucks at all, but I can respect that thought process. Oh my god! Oh, the breakaway! Nice! The little grab by Lyon. What a save. He had it the whole way, too. I like Suzuki's little, I'm going to get, nope. Let it sit. Kind of worked against him, though. Pasta was very vocal in the locker room at the new behind the beat. I heard he was screaming. Guy wants to win. I get it. And honestly, the only thing that I really got upset about, and I've been vocal on a couple different shows at this point about it, but his whole "I've had one chance at a cup," it's just bullshit. It's not real. And people were right when they said you're getting mad about semantics. You know what he meant, and I think that's valid. But if it wasn't semantics and he literally is sitting there going, "I've had one chance at a cup with this organization. I'm frustrated. I don't have more help." You had teams that were cup worthy, and you lost with them in the first round or second round. You know, like it hasn't been one chance at a cup. It has been multiple that have fallen short at surprising levels at times. Yeah, the cap space for moving Corpy out, but also Corpusel is just not a good backup goaltender. He's just not. And yes, he had a couple performances that you sit there and go, "This is great." He's like really turning on, but then he comes out and just sucks. He's just not a good goaltender. I can't condone going into a season with a backup. Like I know you're not good, and I refuse to try anyone. I'm trying other guys. If I'm gonna get bad goaltending, I'm gonna get bad goaltending. Like I'd rather try to find a guy that works, especially when you have your starter. I hate these gambling commercials. I hate them so much. Kale McCarr not signed yet. What is Colorado doing? They're on Kale McCarr's timeline. He's going to ask for something. He's going to get it. He is the number one defenseman in the league. He won't win the Norris this year, but you know what I mean. Uh, yeah, that's right. It's Kale McCarr has not signed yet because Kale McCarr has not sat down to sign yet. He will be signing. He knows he will be signing. This was I actually, I'm pretty sure Bergeron used to do this. Maybe I'm wrong. You know me and my goldfish memory, but there have been Bruins in the past who are like, I'm focused on this season. When the season ends, we'll worry about that. Colorado won't get worried until it's, the middle of June and he's still not signed. Oh, here we go. Tucker. And he whiffs. What a little bitch. I love Alex Tuck so much, by the way. He's not a little bitch at all. He would also beat the brakes off of me in a fight. I appreciate that, Blackhawk. Khudobin was I love Khudobin. I liked Halak. You know what goalie I grew up just loving? Nabokov. Love that guy. Just obsessed with him. Wow, this is a bouncy puck. It's been all over the place this game so far. Makar's wanting to sign with Boston, obviously. I would cream my pants. I can't tell you that draft was happening, and me and my Canes buddy the whole time we're like, how is Makar still like? How was he on the board at number 2? You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's a trip. Also, notoriously cheap team Ottawa has Spence as RFA, but when we talk about notoriously cheap, that's what the cap ceiling and floor are for. Because the owner knows, like, I just have to spend to the cap, right? That's my break point. I don't think that has the notoriously cheap has anything to do with they will re-sign him or not. What a bounce back from him, or not bounce back, but like what a difference coming to Ottawa made for him. He was not good in previous stops. Yeah, here's the thing. What if Makar just heats up and wins the Conn Smythe? That's why he hasn't signed. Let me add another million to that paycheck. Interested in either Seattle guy Montour or Dunn for right defenseman. It's going to be really hard to get either of those guys, I think, because they're wrong, but Seattle thinks they're close. They're very wrong, but I do think Seattle thinks they're a step or two away from being in the playoffs. And they're feeling pressure. They really are. They shouldn't be, and they should be doing this the right way, but they won't. I do have interest in Montour, who's on a long-term deal, and I don't think they're moving. I like Dunn, but meh. Sandra always says no one more loved in Boston than the backup goalie. Backup quarterback, backup goalie. You are correct. We've all been guilty of it, too. God knows I have. Dobish, glove save. Yeah, Makar will be the highest paid defenseman come next year. And then oh, Quinn Hughes the following, or is he a I don't know when people's stuff expires. Quinn Hughes. Oh, I couldn't find him. Yeah, Quinn Hughes in 2027, 2028 will be the highest paid one. So it'll go McCarr this year, and then the following will be Quinn. Matthews def done with Leafs. I don't know. I think there's still an argument that he stays. You're this is weird. Let's have this conversation actually. Hold on. Power play. All pressure in the front. We'll get there in a second. We'll remind me to have the Matthews conversation. We're locked in for a moment. It's good puck movement for a bad power play. All right. I want to break this down a little bit. So, Chris Johnson is one of the more reliable guys in the league when it comes to reporting about the NHL. I think he doesn't say anything unless he feels like it's genuinely a possibility or true, or he's getting some sort of information. He's not a clickbait artist like a lot of Boston guys. He's not a clickbait artist. That does not include Evan Marinofsky, Connor Ryan, Ty Anderson. I like those guys. There's just some others that I really don't like. But Matthews allows that to come out. Doesn't make a statement. Very clearly, like there's no argument against it. This happened. He was comfortable with that report coming out. You just pissed off a franchise that already is in shaky ground with you. I have a hard time seeing someone do that and expect to come back. Even if he comes back, what is the fan base going to do to this guy? Right? Like, what an absurd way to do this. And remember, full no movement clause. If he says, I'm not playing for you guys, nice job, Dobish. No rebound. That's what we're talking about. Was it a hard save? Probably not. Was it hard to keep the rebound in? Probably. Yeah, what is the conversation there if he does stick around? Or if he says, hey, I want to get traded, how much leeway do the Leafs have to get full value for this? This is an awful situation for the Leafs. And for those of you who say he's definitely done, there's certainly enough information to give you confidence. Why would he say that? The Leafs media is all over that. He'll never hear the end of it if he stays in Toronto. Hell, he'll never hear the end of it anyway. That's like if Pasternak came out and said, like, I don't know if I'll be here next year. The fan base would say, fuck you, leave. Right? Like, that's it. He would get booed in game one. That's how that operates. There's a couple fan bases in particular that are that level. Weird. So when you say definitely done with the Leafs, it's hard not to agree with you. It's really hard. Don't want to get too upset, but how the fuck have both Bruins teams broken the point record in their own leagues and blow it in the first round? Injuries, to be fair, but also there's been some interesting conversations coming out from Providence and more attention on Mouginel. And I think it's warranted because I've complimented Mouginel in the past, but more and more prospects are just like, I'm not developing and I hate it here. And they're in the AHL. I don't know. There's a lot of conversations that have to happen there. With Ron Francis being gone, the Kraken may be more open to selling pieces off. I think that's a good point. I do think it's a good point. The moment we talked about this, though, the moment they hired Ron Francis, we all went, wow, that's a really bad hire. This is really bad. That's a great kill. Let's say Quinn Hughes and Hudson for Montreal. Hudson's contract is going to be absurd. It's going to be so dumb. They won't be able to keep everyone unless the cap continues to rise at a historic rate. And the timing has to be perfect for these deals. Losing Jessica Campbell is a big mistake for them. I don't know enough about her effect on the team. I love the story, obviously. That was scary. Still kind of scary. No, they got it. But I don't know if she was actually great at her job or not. I just thought it was a really, really cool story. I didn't follow closely enough to it. Favorite non-Bruin goalie you really liked when you were younger? Was a big fan of Mika Kiprusoff. Kiprusoff was a huge one for me as well. But Patrick Waugh, by far, like he's my favorite goaltender of all time. I love Patrick Waugh, and I understand that he's a piece of shit and just not a joy to work with at all. But yeah, big fan of the guy on ice. What do you think the Bees actually do this offseason? As always, less than you want, but they're going to explore the trade market, I think, pretty aggressively. Buffalo's turning it on. This is what I mean. Buffalo's not nervous because they know that they can get this kind of pace going. Oh, that's a bad turnover. Get on your horse. Evans, you got to shoot that. He gave you that shot all day. You got to shoot that. Interest in Tuck. Yes. I mean, for 5 years now, like you're saying, for 5 years now, I've been interested in Tuck. I shocked if he leaves Buffalo. Shocked. You don't stick with a team this long, especially if they don't win the cup and through the grit and the grime, and then you have a season like this, and then you're like, I'm out, right? I think liability Peak gets traded this offseason. I think liability Peak gets signed by another team. He's a UFA. He's out. He's done. Is Fabian Lysell ever going to be with the Bruins? I think that ship has sailed. Unfortunately, I'm officially taking that stance, which I've been against for years. That skating talent is just so hard to walk away from. But the franchise just seems done, and he seems done, and the injuries on injuries on injuries suck. And yeah, I'm betting he's a trade piece at a certain point. Yeah, I really hope they don't re-sign Peak. Bit of a hot take. I feel if Zaddy continues to be a penalty minute leader, we should try to get him off the roster too. Only issue is who will take him. I think Zadorov is tradable. I genuinely think that. Not like Elias is. He's legitimately, you could trade him and get something back. That being said, I wouldn't move off him. A penalty leader doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Obviously, he has to spend less time in the box, but I think Zadorov, while healthy this year, has been a positive impact to the Bruins. Which, again, you remember me last year, I was saying anything but. So I've really changed my stance on that. Yeah, offer sheet someone like Robertson from Dallas, or maybe even Brady Tkachuk wouldn't hurt to try. Yeah, again, my stance on Brady Tkachuk is pretty well known. I don't want him, but I do want Robertson. 4 firsts is just you're signing a guy for 14, $15 million a year for the next 7 or 8 years, and you have to give up 4 firsts as well. It's a tough sell. It's a tough sell. Lysell is going to start a long, good career in the SHL in the next 2-3 years. He would rip that league up. You know, you could pry a guy like Cooley off the Rangers, coming up with speed and scoring touch. Totally dependent on the Rangers. Do they actually believe in a retool? Are they doing a rebuild? What's the actual story over there? I would say that's not feasible right now, given the current landscape. I don't think they're that interested in moving off them. I wouldn't say Zadorov you can't let go, but the deal would have to be something I'm genuinely pumped about. But I am agreeing with your sentiment. LaFerriere similar in Kings to Cooley. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about young-ish, promising guys on teams that are more interested in retooling than rebuilding. It's just really difficult guys to get. This is a huge opportunity. You go up 3-0, and this game gets really tight in this building. Again, though, Buffalo will create some offense. Trade for Matthews. Oh, good save by Lyon. Trade for Matthews. I mean, I would trade for Matthews, especially if he was like, I want to go to Boston, which he won't say that. He has a no movement clause. He gets to decide where he goes. All right, speaking of defensemen, what's the deal with Hampus? So Hampus, fractured foot aside for this year, I know I've said this a bunch, but he had a traumatic knee injury a year ago. Like, tore his kneecap off, traumatic, right? Like, just awful. multiple surgeries to get back, had a very abnormal offseason because he was rehabbing more than he was actually, like, ramping up to play, and then as the season goes on, he's struggling to keep up. I will judge Campus next year because I genuinely believe it was a 2-year injury to come back from. Also, let this be a lesson to us if Hampus rebounds next year. We saw what happened to Swayman when he didn't have a normal camp. Oh, that was there. When you don't have a normal camp, we saw what happens to Swayman. And now we see what happens to Hampus when he doesn't have a normal offseason. I think I need to put a lot more stock into like a regular offseason really matters. And I know the season's long, but it seems like if you don't start the season on time, it is incredibly hard to rebound. So that's where I am with the Hampus talk. What are the chances that the Bruins draft a defenseman? Extremely high. You mean in the first round is my guess. But yeah, I would expect them to. Eh, we need help everywhere, but we have very limited defensive prospects. You guys think they bring Arvidsson back? It's fully dependent on how many years he wants. If it's a 4 or 5 year deal, I don't think they can. I don't think they can do that. I mean, they're getting the pucks to the net. Anyone the Flames you target? A team has had bad draft luck and probably would love another first in their cupboard. Man, anyone that they'd actually consider moving, like Perek, I would, Perek, however you say his name, I would be interested, but I don't think they're moving him. I don't want Huberdeau. Oh, I thought he was going to get all the way through. Newhook's been good, man. Underrated guy. Man, this is still on the power play, huh? I'm going to answer your Flames question in a second. I'm going to look at the roster for a moment, just as a reminder. It's a good kill by the Sabres, but a better kill by Lion. Look at this possession. The Bruins cannot do this right now. They need to be able to build possession like this. Quick glance at the Flames, and that's gonna be a big no. There's no one on that team I would give up a first round pick for right now that they would be willing to move. It would be a dream to get Nylander if they blew it up, but they won't. They don't have their first round pick for the next 2 years. Blowing it up, like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it'll never happen. God, it'd be nice though. Who's there? Oh, how does Anderson not capitalize there? Matheson again? Oh, I thought he was going to pick corner again for a moment. This is crazy. Montreal really bringing it to the Sabres. Oh my gosh, these are really close chances. Okay, so a few teams these days are willing to enter to the studs rebuilds. Makes it hard to really know who is feasibly a target, let alone the prices be available for. And I think it's because to the studs rebuilds are a like 5 to 6 year commitment minimum, right? And they've seen enough teams rebound with a couple of core pieces. So I genuinely think it's a bad strategy unless you're in a dire situation. When I read Boston lost their first round pick this year, plus not have a first round pick until 2028, and honestly, we laughed. Sweeney got absolutely porked. The wording of this comment is weird because we didn't lose a pick. We just obviously we don't get the Leafs pick. We still have our first and our first next year and 2028, as well as we might have Toronto's pick next year, but largely unlikely. And the Panthers pick in 2028. You got to remember, Sweeney got that first round pick with those protections, thinking it was going to be a 20 something overall pick in 2026. And instead, of course, it goes to 2028. Oh, he missed the net. But he also got Fraser Minton out of that deal. Sweeney got anything but port in that Carlo trade. Did it work out perfectly? No, but we got more than we expected from it. Yeah, it's going to be 84 games next year. Just dumb to me, but what? What's up, Nicholas? Hope, but I hope most guys GMs are stuck in the little guy gross mindset, and Ryan Lynn might drop to the Bruins. I'm not a little guy gross guy, but there is like a line to draw. I'm not familiar enough to for Lynn, but I'm curious now. Let's look him up, shall we? Let's you know what? Let's look at the mock draft and see where he's going for Scott Wheeler, shall we? Ryan Lynn, he has him going 16th overall. He's a right-handed defenseman to the Capitals. Wow, they already have some small defensemen though. If it was that, now obviously this is a mock draft. So, what are his measurements? This is I haven't done my draft homework yet, so this is we're gonna have to get there. Wow, what a profile for this guy! Point per game in the WHL. 5'11", 176. I mean, that's exactly what the Bruins need right now. They don't need another bruiser on the back end. Does seem like this would be quite the fall for him, though. For him to fall to 23, 24, wow, that would be substantial. That is, look, I get why you're rooting for it, but that is going to be, um, that'd be very lucky. I know you say wishful thinking. Like, I know you understand that. Yeah, I do not want Pierre-Luc Dubois. I have too much there's too much stank on him, supposedly not giving a shit. But the Kings are the most boring franchise on the planet. 3-year deal for Arvidsson would be acceptable for us? Yeah. And you're ignoring all the injury history, right? Like, you're just hoping that's in his past, right? Montreal is gonna be a problem for years to come. For the next 15 years, well, 10 years, it's gonna suck. Fucking love Gronkowski, man. Oh, I see what you're saying, surfing bird. I get what you're saying. Yeah, the Boston media is mostly untrustworthy. Like, if you take anything face value, because they make disingenuous arguments all the time. And I like to present the opposing arguments to what I say, and I know a bunch of guys do. But there's just like the most popular media outlets for Boston sports are like, I'm going to hide the truth here and just make a point that I want to make. Gingerbread, I'm doing well. I've had an awful day, but we're hanging out. We're having a good time, watching some good hockey. The wife is in Georgia right now. She has a horse show. Uh, I'm hoping that I'm going to drive down there tomorrow morning to catch her stuff, but she's prepping for that. Some amateur circuit stuff, but we love to see it. Still a good hobby for her. Yeah, so we're doing good. Hope the front office after the playoff loss isn't looking for coach replacements because I feel Sturm has potential, seeing how he took a rebuilding team and got to the first round, give him talent. Yes, 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 yes. I would be shocked if they were thinking about a Sturm change. There's a lot of noise in the AHL about Mujanel now that there might be an argument for. There might be changing some of the development programming might not be terrible. Thoughts on Brunette making the team out of camp next year? I'll be livid if he doesn't. I'll be livid. Imagine if we kept Taylor Hall and Tyler Bertuzzi, your top 4 wingers being Pasta, Gigi, Hall, and Bertuzzi. Yikes, that's a scary top 6. Yeah, financially, it just couldn't happen. I mean, all of that stuff was cap constraints at a certain point. Trade for Mort Sider. Can you imagine? Like, the Red Wings fan base would just explode. It would just die. Local jockey. Hold on. 3-on-2 here? Nope, offsides. I rode a horse while in Italy that wouldn't stop eating the grass. And it was hilarious. I hadn't ridden a horse in about 25 years. It's scarier than I thought it would be, but it was a good time. Thank you for the kind words, Gingerbread. I appreciate that. We all have bad days now and again. Is it time for me to pick a Stowers yet? The guy before me is gonna fucking pick him early, isn't he? Anybody have any firm thoughts on Pittsburgh's new QB, Drew Aller? Because I'm thinking about trading back into the end of the third round to try to get him. It's the wrong place to ask, I know, but hey, great start by Montreal, up 2-0, have controlled a good amount of play. But again, I just think Buffalo's sitting there going, we can do this. We can come back from this. No offense to Ryan no, but you don't develop talent for the NHL and you can't get over the hump of the AHL. So what exactly do you I think that right? You have to have that conversation. The development has not been good enough. All of that gets put on Sweeney, which at the end of the day it should, right? It's his franchise that he's running here, but yeah. Fix a team. Who are your ideal candidates either through free agency or internal development? Trades can work too, but there's not much you can get for unless you give up a hell of a lot. I would have a 3-year plan with this team, unfortunately, because Pasta needs it kind of next year. But I haven't done like the big board yet. So these live streams, I keep getting caught with this where I get these questions about like what would you do? And I just haven't done enough prep work yet. Free agency, I would do very little. I would do some fringe stuff, but there's not a lot of value to be had there. I would be aggressively looking through the trade market with any of the next 6 first rounders for the Bruins, which they have 6 over the next 4 years. They would be in play. I would be talking to a lot of teams about where their values lie. How's Providence doing in their Calder Cup run? Does anyone want to fill him in? They had the worst loss. Technically, they had a bye in the first round, so they were in the second round, but they had statistically the biggest upset loss in a series of all time in the AHL. They broke the record for standings points of the season and lost. I know that doesn't sound familiar to you at all. My ex's horse tried to kill me, so I'm never getting on a horse again. You got to respect those animals, man. I'm not saying that you didn't and you almost got killed for it, but they will kill you. Horses are powerful, powerful creatures. 9 seconds left, taking a penalty. Ugh. Hate to see it. As a Steelers fan myself, picking Aller at 76 wasn't necessary. Could have gone later in the third or pick someone else in a later round, but that's just me. Okay, valid. My wife's horse definitely gave me a look upon first meeting. I felt the judgment. They are judgy bitches. The only horse that gets along with me is the horse that hates all people. Every time I've been to a barn, usually because of my wife, there's a horse that she'll point out to me and she'll be like, that horse, don't go near him. He hates everybody. And I don't approach horses. I don't fucking do it. That horse will always inevitably walk up to me and like nudge me and get scritches and we'll hang out for a bit. I don't know why. It's like they can tell. Oh, you blew that dead? Oh, you can't blow that dead. How do you lose sight of that? Keeping the fourth line together, right? Yes. Jeannot and Kastelik, definitely. Corrali will be on the team next year, obviously, contract and all. I think there's real opportunity for someone to pass him. And I hate to say Patra is like a 4C, but I think they're getting an opportunity there to a couple different centers down there that might be able to make the move. If Watts Mills is healthy, I could see him try to take over that role. Wow! Getting that shot off in 2 seconds for talent. So the horse is a cat. Yeah, kind of like that. Oh, Nicholas, did you actually no? I'm sorry, brother. I am sorry. I genuinely am sorry. Yeah, that was a tough one. At least it wasn't Dippy's fault. No. Yeah, he that backup job is so open, it's crazy. There's better options. Do you think the fan base will respond well to a potential Minton or Zaka trade? Personally, I think they should stay, but that's just me. Minton is wicked potential. I would move Minton for a true 1C. Like if St. Louis is like, we want Toronto 2028, we want Minton. We want Lysell, and we'll give you Robert Thomas. I make that trade without blinking. I don't hang up the phone. I'm like, all right, yep. You get it sent over. We'll get that. I don't want to hear another fucking thing. You know, because if you could get a 1C in their prime who's at the top half of the league in their position, you trade Minton. If you're not getting that, Minton plays a position too valuable, and he has too much potential. Right? You have to get a guy who's like, this is what Minton could be. Game 6, Pens, Preds, Stanley Cup final vibes. What a terrible whistle. You want to talk about that series. You want to talk about being upset at the refs for deciding the series. The refs did everything they could to get Crosby that fucking cup, that third cup. Third? That was the year after the Sharks final, right? I think so. Hagens, Poitras, and Minton as your future center sounds good. They don't. Poitras likely gonna have to move to the wing, I think. We'll see. There's still a little time there, but I just it's more about what the franchise looks at him as, you know. I like Poitras. He just needs to learn one thing. Get rid of the puck rather than skate yourself into danger. You either got to beat a guy or get rid of it. You can't do the middle option and hold and then just get plowed over. Lamels needs to come up when he comes back from his injury. I think he does. I think he's an NHL player in the bottom six, a third line guy. I keep calling him Krejci light because I think he has that kind of potential, but we'll see. They'd ask for a second first in that deal. 2 firsts, Fraser, Minton, Fabian Lysell for Thomas. I would give Toronto's and I'd give Florida's, but I wouldn't touch any of the Bruins ones. Actually, I would give this year's Bruins. I would give this year's Bruins and Toronto's and Minton for Thomas. I would. I gotta talk through it, you know? Every point is a burn for Toronto. I do love that. We'd love to see Dumoulin in Boston. I don't have strong thoughts about Dumoulin, positive or negative. Robert Thomas and his team, I think, would do numbers, but I highly doubt the Bruins office would do that because they want to be cheap. I don't. So, okay. There's a cap ceiling that the Bruins spend to virtually every year or close to. There's no cheap when it comes to the players, right? Like, that's not. If you want to talk about scouting department, which we have a fairly robust scouting department and athletics department, gym, everything, like we do fine there. The ownership is cheap in other ways. The concessions are a nightmare. The pricing of tickets is ridiculous. And, you know, they find ways to try to squeeze every dollar out. But they would still spend to the cap. And Robert Thomas would be part of that. So the cheap stuff doesn't land in this particular category for me. Kuzi, Minton, Poitras might be a fun line. Could be. I like it. It's a small line, though. Yeah. Minton being your biggest guy is tough there. Given the contracts lately, I wouldn't say they're cheap. Elias Koff. Yeah. It's just about what they can keep out of the like. If all of a sudden there was no cap, yeah, we probably would be one of the teams that's like in the bottom half of the league cheap wise because the Jacobs are like that. But they love the cap because they can just spend to that and be like, good, no one can complain. Would the Blues even want to move Thomas? They fucking shouldn't. They shouldn't want to. But they spent an entire year talking about trading him. And not just the media. Like that was coming from sources. UFA, I'm very, very in on for our decor. Ferraro. I love Ferraro. I'm there. I'm there with you. For sure. For sure. Don't know contract-wise what that looks like. I'd have to do a little more ticket. When you look at the draft class, look at Wyatt Cullen. Would love to get him even if we have to move up. I'll take a look. Where is he projected to go right now? Oh, did I already close that? Am I a big, dumb fucking idiot? I might be a big, dumb idiot. I do got to get another beer. I also got to pee. All right, where's this Cullen guy go? Hold on. Oh, projected top 15. Hemming is the one I want to stay away from. I know that there's a lot of excitement because he looked good with Hagens. But there's something about his game that really concerns me, and I don't have a great way to actually verbalize it. He's big. He's like a power forward. You know what? I'm doing the same thing I do every year. I struggle with power forwards. Everyone has a blind spot somewhere. Sometimes it's the small defenseman for some, because small guy grows. For some, it's the speed kills, but like I'm too into the speed and not into power forwards for me. I struggle with projecting them, and I think that's my issue with having. I think that's my issue. Crazy the Jets aren't looking to get rid of Scheifele. They want to not run it back, but they think they should be back in the playoff mix next year. I don't really want Scheifele for what it's worth, but love to see a Detroit-Boston series, but realistically, who do you think comes on top of that series? That's a coin flip. Yeah, that's a total coin flip right now. Because with a year of development, the thing is, Detroit has to have good goaltending, which is a hit or miss at times. And their defensive group is good. And they have enough forward talent. Now, injuries bit them in the ass at the tail end of the year, but it still doesn't explain the kind of collapse they had. I don't know. That's a coin flip, which is not a compliment to Boston, by the way. The team that did not make the playoffs is a coin flip with Boston. I take a shot in Kesselring if Buffalo ain't going to use him like they should. There's an argument there. Kesselring, depending on who you ask, people either love or hate the guy. Okay, let me go grab a beer and use the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, we got a beer. Larold, are you gonna present yourself? Are you gonna say hello? Why are you growling at, buddy? You got his teeth showing? Come here. People want to see you. Come on. Come here, buddy. There's no love? Is there no love? There's no love from Larry. I'm sorry, guys. Come on. No, he's just getting nervous. He's getting shy. I'm sorry. Larry will come back. I'm drinking Guinness, and I'm sick of it, but I had so much left over from the wedding. With Detroit having the longest playoff drought in the league, there'll be eyes on them next season for sure. Oh, yeah. And that fan base is getting restless. Boston, you could hang with almost any team as long as their depth scoring doesn't completely disappear, which seems to be a routine occurrence in the playoffs. I would argue all scoring disappeared, unfortunately, and largely. Oh, you mentioned this in your next comment. Like Swayman is a great equalizer, but when you only score one, maybe 2 goals a game, it's asking a bit much of him. Yes, Swayman is why they're hanging with these teams typically, in my opinion. Biggest issue is defense and holding leads, with which we've blown leads at least 3 times this year. Stadium series and like 2 playoff games among others. So yes, and the defense needs more help, but I would also argue that part of the reason the defense looks so bad is because the forwards cannot maintain possession at all in the offensive zone. We are defending all the time. No defense looks good if you are always defending. So I genuinely think additions to the front 12 make a much bigger impact on the back end than most would think. Cole Perfetti is at the end of his contract this year. He's an RFA. Yep. Right? RFA. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm interested in him. I have no idea what Winnipeg's really going to do. It seems like they think they can run it back. I don't know. It's multiple players, as far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure, have basically, he is an RFA, have come out and said that we keep doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not working. Stadium Series was a disaster. Those last two games before the break were awful and really did set the tone for the rest of the season. Liljegren, I have no strong feelings about. 99 bottles of Guinness. Close, dude. I think I was 60. I think I had 67. 67 cans of Guinness left. Budweiser is king of beers. Budweiser is just not good. It's not bad. It's just not. It just. Bud, sure, I'll have one. That's. Yeah. You know? I never buy Budweiser. Unless it's like I'm going somewhere and just chucking it in their fridge. Roslovic is also so funny. He's such a funny depth player. I like him. I've liked him for years. The wrong situation, he looks like one of the worst hockey players in the world. The right situation, he scores goals randomly. They need to work on ozone entries in the power play for sure, but they need to work on their puck movement and ability to maintain possession, both power play and even strength. They have to so badly. So very badly. Everyone's all excited about Gronk. Wait, did Evan Gold... Did Evan Gold get snatched by Vancouver? Or am I just seeing someone tweet about what if he did? I can't tell. The problem is when the Bruins get eliminated from the playoffs, I really do turn my brain off for a lot of real hockey news for a couple of weeks just to refresh and reset. And I'll be looking forward to a genuine break with the full offseason because God knows my wife deserves that. But there are a lot of notifications I miss. Pasta's going to have 15 100-point seasons and no cup. What the fuck? I hope not. When we played the Panthers after the Stadium Series, the uniform colors are so weird. It was like ketchup and mustard out there. Panthers Winter Classics and Boston Stadium Series jerseys. Yeah, it was tough. Do you guys know what I'm wearing right now? Who can guess what this is without seeing the logo? And maybe you guys, I stood up, so you probably already saw it. But I wonder if anyone can actually just guess it off this. I should probably give you guys a hint, though, because you're going to be thinking of... It's not a team that exists today. Speed could help with our shitty possession. You know what? Cleopatra? Beyblade? Cleopatra Beyblade? That's excellent. I think you might be right. This team could use more speed. And for what it's worth, and I know a lot of it's lip service, the end of the year panel from our GM and president and all of that largely told me what I needed to hear, which was we need speed and talent. We got the size. Now we're tough to play against. Now we need the talent. Yeah, no kidding. The one good thing to come out of the Stadium Series games was watching Jeannot beat the piss out of AJ Greer. That was awesome. We genuinely had 3 guys on our team that if they lost a fight, it was shocking. Zadorov, Jeannot, and Kastelic did not struggle in that. Oh, a Hamilton Tiger cat. I want that jersey, by the way. I don't even know if I can find one of those. It's from the 1920s at that point. 20-something. I don't love the Panthers Winter Classic jerseys. I haven't gone out of my way to get them. And a lot of jerseys have passed my way this past year because I haven't been in a position to afford them. Oh, my gosh. Grant, just make your pick, dude. Frick. Oh, there is another game after this. We are not live streaming during that. I like how here's a 30-year-old Radish on the top of the free agency board. He did time a career year really well, though. Give him that. How much was he making this year? League min? What the hell? What a player for them. Wish they bring back the Leaping Panther. That logo is sick. I have one of those. I anything that's more of your 90s style logos, excellent. People just like everything. We've gotten more boring because we take everything too seriously. We don't want to get made fun of and all this stuff. But like Pooh Bear and Meth Bear, that stuff slaps. Like the 90s NBA jerseys and their logos were fun and goofy and they're awesome. Kaslik does have crazy eyes. I realize now that that's in quotes. Yes. These crazy eyes. The kind of guy you just don't want to fight. The kind of guy you walk by and he mouths off and you turn around and you're like, this fight ends with me being dead or me in prison. I got to go. I can't do this right now. Kind of sounds like with the Pats, we're just waiting to hear what the deal for Brown is on July 1st. Oh, yeah. I'm a little worried about that. It sounds like they're not willing to give up the 2027 first, which seems like a good idea at this point. I don't know. There's a real possibility Brown bounces back really well, but he's a psycho. Radish is going to get paid the biggest bag you've ever seen. Just hope it isn't the Bruins who signed the check. I just don't think they can. I don't think they can invest that much in one spot on a 30-year-old guy who had a career year in which he doubled his previous point totals. It's such an outlier. Like, this is the prototypical don't sign that guy for market value. Don't do that. Right? Like, it's the most obvious stay away of all time. And maybe he'll be great and prove us wrong. That's a risk I'm so glad to let another team take. Would you love to see a season where the NHL goes back to 90s jerseys? Yeah. Yes, I would. Absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would. I like the old version of nearly everything. Well, jersey related and logo related. Please don't quote me on that on basically any other part of the American lifestyle. I miss when the American dollar was stronger. I'll give you that. Someone said Radish wouldn't work here because Lightning have Cooch. Like, we don't have Pasta. Still would be a big contract. Be a huge contract. It's going to be his one big payday. Like, he has to go with the highest offer. Because I'm pretty sure his earnings so far through his career are like $5 million. Which, yeah, many of us would kill for. But in the NHL, with 5 years played, it's not a ton. Not a ton. Is there a career earnings that I can see here? Estimated career earnings, 2.92 mil. Yikes. Oh, we're back. Puck drops. It's an Umbaldior. That's a pretty good one. Oh, that's right. It's still on the power play. What a pass. What? Oh, that was a little too fancy. Little too fancy. Davidov, get off the ice, brother. Back up the boards. Yep. Man, this power play just make like I can't take my eyes off of it right now. It's not even doing anything. I'm just so scared of it. That's another thing. We need guys who could get a shot to the net. The amount of players that the Bruins have that shoot into the first defenseman over and over is killing me. And they're not using that goal line bumper spot, are they? Get in the passing. New hook up to the They're not utilizing the passing lanes at all. I don't understand why there's just. Oh, that's an awful drop pass too. Wow, that's awful. So jersey, the Golden Seals or Pirates, old NHL, not MLB. It is the California Golden Seals. Great call. Great call. I think if you can't pull if you can't pull a Thomas, you just shoot all your first to the moon on a 12-million offer sheet for Robertson. Add 2 to 3 million to that, and yeah, I agree. I agree. That means the Bruins don't have any of their first rounders for the next 4 years. So it's tough, but damn, he does get blown the fuck up. That's a good hit, too. That's what you pay Greenway for. Any chance of Matthews coming to Boston? I just can't imagine he says, you know what? Fuck Toronto. But also, double fuck Toronto. I want to go to Boston. Because he has to decide to come here. You know who could get Matthews? The Ducks. And that would be incredible for them. And he would sit there and go, this is awesome for me. Because he's a Selke level defender, too. The guy is really good on both ends of the ice. I mean, Selke level's overdoing it a little bit, but. Oh, rooting for the Ducks to go deep this year. I'm not a Quenneville fan. But I am enjoying watching the Ducks play. We're going to have another power play here this time for the Sabres. This will be a huge one for them. You could root for Philly. They're down 3-0, so, easy team to root for. Yeah, I mean, if the Bruins are making a big trade, it is also with the expectation that a lot of money is, Damn it! Of course he took Stowers. Right before me. Son of a bitch. I've been sitting here for an hour waiting to... Fuck! This is bullshit. I quit. I quit the league. I didn't get a tight end that's not going to play for 2 years. Damn it. San Jose would be a great fit. Montreal could get him. I mean... Oh, you know what probably happened? I think my buddy told him I was waiting to take Stowers, and he wanted to snipe me. All right, well, now I got to figure out who I'm going to fucking take. Because I don't want Simpson. This is tough. And I'm watching a hockey game. Draisaitl to Boston? I don't see how that could happen. It would take so much. Uh-oh. Lion comes up big. I need a whistle, guys. I got to look at the football players and figure out who I'm drafting. I think I might go off the board, though. At least they're using their passing lanes. Dobish with another save that keeps the rebound from bouncing. Set it at the Matthews celebrating Smith. Holy moly, that would be crazy. And Smith's been playing a lot on Celebrini's wing at times, too. So, yeah, that top 6 would get disgusting. I don't need another wide receiver, nor do I want to get a wide receiver from Cleveland, Boston. Ugh, this is gross, boys. Maybe Emmett Johnson? Maybe? Oh, is there an interview going on during the game? Because I'm not paying attention to that at all. I'm watching what's happening on the ice. That's it. And my stream just froze too, because why not? Why not? I do hate the interviews during the game, by the way. I absolutely loathe them. What's happening to my stream here? Oh, this is bad. It's just frozen. All right. Any chance you could trade with San Jose and get the number 2 pick? Uh, I don't. I see how that benefits the Bruins, obviously, right? But like, what you'd have to give up to get that number two, it doesn't help the Bruins right this moment, right? Because Stenberg, as great as he's probably going to be, not an impact guy right away in all likelihood. Maybe, but probably not. And the Bruins would like to help the team this year. I mean, that's a great penalty kill. Oh! Might as well be short-handed too. What do you think happens to Reichel? I'm wondering. I don't think he should be re-signed, but Sturm seems to love him. Gronk has indeed spiked a puck before at TD Garden. I believe that. Uh, I don't know. This is tough, man. There's not a lot in this. Not a lot in this draft that I totally love. Yikes! 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 I realize this is riveting stream content, but that is a great goal. And that's just speed that'll get you that, you know? I'm telling you, Newhook's just been great for them. Man. All right. I gotta figure this out. What do you think? Is that game or you still think they got a chance here? I think Buffalo still has a chance. They can pile up the goals, but man, Montreal is in control here, big time. That's an ambitious play. I think we're going to go off the board and going to go with Emmett Johnson. I think that's what we're doing. I mean, this is a dynasty league, so I'm really just looking at what's advantageous in the future. You know. All right. If you're Buffalo, you have to score here. TD Garden crowd has to do better at being a crowd. I agree. I think. I mean, again, people made an argument that the Bruins have to give them something to cheer for, which I agree with. But when you're 10 minutes in the game and the crowd's already silent, like, guys, get on your horse, do something. Buffalo needs to drop the gloves already. I think the refs have really made it clear that any after the whistle shenanigans, you're going to get punished for it. It's really neutered the way a lot of these teams want to operate. They got to find a willing participant in a fight. Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them if they go into the third period down 3. I agree. Duh, right? All right, I think we're taking Emmett Johnson. Ugh, I don't want to do this though, but I really don't want Ty Simpson either. This is gross. Oof. I mean, they have got to do something with this power play. Oh, there you go. Maintain possession. Oh, Dobich thought he had it too. All right. That's that. Oh, that's a bad play and a good clear. Buffalo shooting with no screen sounds like Boston. Any crowd that doesn't sing is a weak crowd. I agree. Like we truly have the pricing for this stuff has gotten so absurd. I was again talking to my Canes buddy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, there were tickets for like $80." They were pretty far back, but I'm like $80. I don't think the nosebleeds are anywhere close to that in TD. When we chanted Lion, we lost both times, so maybe it's not for Bruins fans to do. I've always found the goalie chance to be odd anyway. Goalies' mental fortitude is like half the job, so I just can't imagine it's a very effective thing to do. Trade the picks and get someone for the love of God. I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what they're going to do. And the Habs are doing such an exceptional job of open space. They're focusing on where can I get the puck to that my guy is closer than the Sabres, but keeps things moving. Uh-oh. Is it a bad turnover? Nope. They snuffed it. They stuffed it out. I mean, Dobish has been so very good. This Habs team is terrifying. Also, you want to talk about the McDavid situation? If I'm the Habs, I'm all over that. I'm calling them, and I'm like, I've got Jacob Fowler, who looks like he might be ready to take a step. Right, one of the best goaltending prospects in the league. I've got picks. I've got some young guy, Demidov. If they could get McDavid, they could get Drysdale, something like that. There's a real trade they could make. I don't know. The Habs are very well set up. Yeah, they were changing Swayman, and Swayman was it was funny on social media too because Sabres fans were watching that being like, Swayman is the only Bruin I'm scared of, and we're chanting at him. Like, yeah, it's a bold strategy. Realistically, if we kept Marchand on the team, would we have been worse than we were or made more progress? So this is a personal take. We would just still be spinning our tires. That decision had to get made. We did right by Marchand, and he got a cup out of it, which is awesome. But Marchand was one of the most vocal people about not wanting to play with a younger roster. And like every beat reporter says the same thing. He was very adamant, like the rookies better earn it, and he was very vocal with leadership about whether a guy was in the lineup or not. And he probably held some of the development stuff back for certain guys because he wanted to win and win now. And I get that. So I'm not blaming him. The guys who run the team run the team. Marchand doesn't run the team, but Marchand had to go for multiple reasons. And I'm very excited for him that he got another cup out of it. And I hope he continues to succeed. But it was time. It was time there. I don't know if I really answered your question, but who's the Didov could have learned a lot from Marchand for sure. There's a genuine chance that I have to try to trade back into the third round while we're streaming. That's going to be tough. I mean, Montreal does look like the better team. I know the shots are 15-14, but they do. Best captain candidate? Most will say Pasta. I think Pasta's up there. Zadorov spends too much time in the box. I agree with Andrew's take on that. Like you can't spend 50% of your ice time in the box and be a captain. I think McAvoy is obviously an option. But best candidate, I think it does. I think it does have to be Pasternak. You hate to go with the traditional route, but I think it has to be Pasternak. He's your best player. He's been vocal this year. He clearly wants to win. Yeah. The problem is he's going to get so much flack, and I'm kind of getting bored of this because a lot of people point out his like lazy style, and I've done it too, obviously. But he's not lazy. The way he plays the game does look rather casual at times. Oh my God, get on your skates! Couldn't get going. That's crazy. But yeah, I think Pasternak is the answer there. Minton and Marchand would not work well, I don't think. I mean, I like McAvoy for the option too. I just think I think it's probably going to end up being Pasta. I was really glad they went a year without the captaincy. I had asked for it, and that's what I got. The last behind the beat tells us it was Pasta. Yeah, a couple people were talking about how vocal he had been in that one. Speaking of McDavid, both him and the Oilers account have unfollowed Rogers on social media, having the name of their barn changed. Okay, that's interesting. Throw all logic out the window. All right, what do we got? Make Sway the captain. Goaltenders can only be captain in like an honorary sense. I had recently learned, or in a weird sense, like they can't do the on ice responsibilities of a captain, I guess. Oh, if they score here, man, I just don't know. That might be game. 4 goals is a lot to get out, or a lot. And they keep keeping the puck. Oh, Demidov's back. Right, something vibrated. My phone, my work phone, the vibrator I keep under my desk. Oh my god! Why is work emailing me? It's fucking 8:30 on a Friday. I'm salary. They get to email or call me whenever they want. Last guy was Luongo, right? That's based on messages that I received in the last live stream. Yes, that Luongo was the last one. I don't have no follow through on that. Oh, I thought they had that. Woo! They're looking for that backdoor play. Not a lot of this is on Lion. Minton getting to C would blow my mind. Oh, is someone stickless? Yeah. He's stickless. Look at Timmins making the play without a stick. Whoo! Almost didn't matter. Oh, he was there for a second. That timing was tough, though. That's a bad pass, Sloth. That's the other thing. Power plays are most effective when you pass tape to tape. And again, the Bruins just not enough of that. And Buffalo's getting the booze. Let it rip. Back to him. Let it rip. Back to him. Let it rip. Ah, you settle for that? Oh, I can't believe they didn't score off that. Of course, Local has 2 phones. I have 3. Don't worry about it. Oh, I thought that was in 2. These sharp angle shots, the Habs are not afraid of them. Yeah, Luongo had the C on his helmet. I think you're right about that. Again, that's what people were telling me last time. Yeah, I didn't see the Behind the B episode yet either. Again, I take kind of a purge a little bit from hockey stuff. This year's a little different because I want to, we're doing the charity stuff. But I didn't see that Behind the B, and apparently Pasta was fucking pissed. It's valid, And I mean, he's also looking around, and obviously Arvidsson gets hurt, but Geeky's doing nothing offensively. Middlestat's doing nothing. Zaka disappeared. All the forwards around him just dried up. Elias, a whole different conversation. Who do you think wins the Vezina? I think it's Vasilevsky. I think making the playoffs matters for the Vezina, and I understand that some people feel differently, but here's my reasoning why making the playoffs matters. Outside of outliers where you were the best goaltender in the league by far, right? Because this is not one of those seasons where you easily that's the guy who wins it. But I think it's Vasilevsky because he made the playoffs, had great numbers behind a team that There's a lot of rewriting of history. I certainly thought Tampa was going to be at least good this year, but they had injuries and they had struggles all year, and he was consistent and solid. Making the playoffs matters to me because I think the goal of the season, regular season, obviously, is to make the playoffs. It's a regular season award. The regular season still has a goal, which is to make the playoffs. If you did not make the playoffs, I don't think I don't think you're a good candidate unless you were by far the best goaltender and in the league. So Sorokin's kind of out for me. And then Swayman, I just don't think outperformed Vasilevsky. He has the most impressive 908 save percentage I might have ever seen through a season, but still not quite enough. And then there's a guy like Wedgwood who doesn't get nominated for it, but had like a 921, led the league in save percentage. But his team's stellar, and he had 10 less starts than the other three guys that were nominated. So I think it goes to Vasilevsky. Long-winded answer. Vancouver took a lot of glack for 2011, but he got the team to game 7. Yeah. Vancouver, there's a lot of fans, they're probably right, that sit there and be like, I can't believe we lost to that Boston team. Much like we in 2019 are like, I can't believe we lost to that Blues team. Gigi wide open net, missed shot during the playoffs. Yep, that was brutal. Gigi, I know we have to have the Gigi sucks conversation, but I've said this a couple times. My superpower only works when I believe it. And when I criticized Geeky for a long time, I meant it. Even when he was scoring in bunches, I was like, man, this guy, like, there's no way this can continue. It's not sustainable. And it kept coming. And it's the moment I was like, Geeky's just geeky, you know? You got to believe it. Got to believe it. I know the voters are only supposed to take the season into account when voting, but Sway might get second based on how he bounced back from last season. I see your point. I don't think he will. I think if anyone's voting for him, it's because statistically the Boston Bruins were one of the worst defensive teams of the league, and he is the only reason they made the playoffs. Not the only reason, but one of the only reasons they made the playoffs. We win the series if Geeky makes it. If Geeky is the same version of himself that he was the first half of the year, I think there's an argument we win that series. Obviously, also if we don't collapse in game one, like there's a lot of what ifs. But the reason that game one doesn't like decide the series, right? And it's just over. It's because the playoffs are littered with that is a series defining moment, but we forget about all of them when that team ends up actually like winning or losing, depending on the side you're on. It's just we hindsight it and come back and be like, that was the series deciding moment when the game before something so tragic happened that you thought that team was surely going to lose and they end up winning. Now, the Bruins fans, we have a litany of these over the past 10 years, but yeah. So on argument that the Bees should trade McAvoy for the second overall. No. No, I don't take that. Because now, all right, now I'm trading Pasta, who has a no movement clause, right? McAvoy, no movement clause. Swayman, no movement clause. I'm trading them all. You trade away one of the three pillars of the team, and I'm officially like, I don't have enough. I got to reset the whole franchise. Maybe a little ridiculous, but not that ridiculous. Hand pass? Yeah. It's nice watching playoff hockey stress-free. I've said this a couple times when I was talking to Jaws from the Flying Fluffy podcast. He covers the Panthers on YouTube. Does live streams for every game, before every game. Nice guy. I was texting with him talking about how it's an underrated feeling. Not being in the playoffs is actually kind of nice, right? Once you accept the fact that your team, sucks. But it's nice because there's no pressure. You're just going to watch great hockey, and you get to watch other fan bases panic. And Geeky with the absolute gift when UPL didn't see the puck and let one half ice. Yeah. Alex Lyon coming in had a lot to do with the series because UPL was keeping the Bruins offense in it. But Alex Lyon didn't decide that series. The Bruins got plowed over. I mean, they just didn't challenge Lyon enough at all. I mean, Buffalo is very close to Canada. That's probably why you're seeing a lot of Habs fans. Yeah, there are a lot of Habs fans. Serious defining moment was all the missed breakaways. The Bruins were the least opportunistic team in the first round. It feels like they just didn't capitalize on anything, and like you're saying, made a difference. Made a big difference. Frustrating. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna take. I went off the board for some of these picks. I think I'm gonna look at Antonio Williams for the next pick. I'm going a little farther back in the draft. That's fine. The Arvidsson penalty shot would have blown the top off the building. By the way, it would have been incredible. But you know who I refuse to get mad at? Victor Arvidsson. I think you could agree with that, right? I refuse to get mad at Swayman. I refuse to get mad at. Damn, this got Minton just because I love him. I'm biased. Put my yellow or gold colored glasses on. Wow, I feel a seizure coming on. Holy shit, that was not good. I actually don't know how that fails. I don't have seizures. That was a very unnecessary joke. Speaking of half ice goals, do you think that half ice goal on Swayman during the Olympics was on him or the board's color choice? I would call it on Swayman because I don't give a shit what the color choice is. You have to stop that. If I asked Swayman right now, hey, should you have stopped that puck? He'd probably hit me, piss on my unconscious body, and then say, yeah, probably. You got a gold for it. And Victor S. Tier Arvidsson, exactly. Who was the other S. Tier? But Swayman. Swayman and Victor. I'm not giving away. I wonder if people ever went over to the video to see who I ranked as an F, which wasn't peak. I don't want to make anybody hungry, but remember, I have 11 p.m. pierogies coming my way. I'm so excited about it. Do you think the injuries are really too much? They just laid down and said we're too fucking slow. We'll be back next year. I don't think they ever laid down. Did they start Game 6 on time? No, but they fought, and we got to remember this team, possession numbers, shot totals, analytics, however you want to say it. They were battling uphill all the time, especially in the playoffs. This team wasn't good enough. And I thought they did show grit and heart throughout. I really did. I'm very impressed by a lot of people on this team. But it also makes me worry because I don't know what next year's going to look like. And there is a very easy argument to make that they are going to go back the other way. But we'll have those conversations later. We'll worry about that later. Soderstrom. It was not Soderstrom. I didn't grade Soderstrom because he played like 8 games. Good try, though. Oh, I didn't see what this power play was for. I got too busy talking to you guys about my fantasy football draft. Why are you settling for these? Dobish is already there, and you want to take this sharp angle shot. What are you hoping to achieve here? Wait, did they just say Tage is still looking for his first shot of the series? Long man from Louisiana. You're right. You're right. It was Lorai. I just think, look, was his whole season a failure? No, but we walked out of this season with more questions about you than answers we got through the year. And you found out that you were unplayable in the playoffs. Do I believe he's truly unplayable in the playoffs? No, but what he did was such a failure. And now the franchise is going to go, we're honestly more interested in trading you. Like his season was an absolute failure by the way it ended. I feel strong about that take. How does it feel knowing the Habs gave up more power play goals in game 1 than the Bees all series? It feels like the Bruins wasted an opportunity, much like they did with all their scoring chances. That's how it feels. 3 minutes left. It's 3-0. A goal by the Sabres here is huge. You get one late in the second, and it's a very different ball game. His best season was his rookie year, and that kind of worries me. Same. And it's a mental thing, too, because what got him knocked out of the playoffs is his refusal to make a decision. He would get the puck, and he would panic. Every time. He held, pinned to the wall. Held, stripped to the puck. Held, play died. Every single time he touched the puck, he wouldn't make a move with it, and it crushed him. I would move him to the wing at this point, but in all likelihood, you're trading him. Hunter, what's going on? That's a very formal greeting. Hello, period. Very Captain Holt of you. Well, am I up again? Oh, Denzel Boston just went. I just have a hard time choosing anybody that is from anybody that's from Cleveland, you know? We are going to have to take a little break of Rooney and cheese at this end of this period. I got to let the DOGs out. We low-qual bandwagon Habs or Sabres fans. I am whatever makes this a 7-game series fan. I love this series. It's great hockey. It's getting chippier. And there's so much talent on the ice. It's crazy. Don't ever call me a low-qual Habs fan, though. How dare I know there's a persona, but Ty Simpson's really fallen in this draft. Brooklyn Nine-Nine slaps. I hated what they did to Amy's character over the seasons. I just really liked her character, and that it was the relationship seemed to matter more than anything at a certain point with Jake. Like, I love a sexual tension buildup. I love that shit. But once they really got settled in, they had the family and everything, it felt like it really muted her character. And it muted Jake's too. I thought that a lot of the fun of the series kind of went out the window with that. The Habs scrum it up after the Sabres try to mess with Dobish and they aren't going on the penalty kill. Couldn't be us. That's true. It couldn't be us. But they'd also don't have Zadorov coming through and cross-checking a guy in the shoulders. So. My stream's dying again. Damn. I don't think this one's on ESPN, right? Zach Benson's a perfect playoff rat, man. A perfect playoff rat. Like, I hate him, obviously, but boy, is he a great, great playoff player. We're sipping on Guinness, painfully. I think I'm getting heartburn from it. I've gained 30 pounds. I'm dying. Please tell me you took Ty Simpson, because if I pass on him again... No, we didn't. Fucking gross. Gross. Oh. I keep going off the board. It's fine. We're going to wait for the period to end. I'm going to go take the dogs out. Then I'll make my draft pick. And grab another beer. But it will be about 10 minutes that I'm gone from the stream, so I apologize about that. Streams are more difficult without the love of my life here to help take care of the dogs. That's a good save. Low-calorie Bruins fan. I got to get back on my shit. My knee is finally starting to feel a little better, but it's been an excuse for a long time. I was in good shape for a little while there, but I've gotten kind of fat. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We all go in stages. Life gets busy. Things get hard. But I got to lock back in. Last minute, second period. Sabres need to be pushing here. They need, get a goal this last minute. You got to be pushing. And they are. They are. Who is this behind the net? Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! This is exactly what we're talking about. Was that Benson behind the net doing the work? What was that? That's the kind of goal you dream of in the playoffs. That kind of forechecking to get that turnover going. And then you put together that kind of play. That's a game-changing moment. That's something they can build off of in the third period. That is massive. That cannot be overstated how big that is for this team right now. Holy shit. And Benson fucking knocks around two guys to get that puck back, get the play going. Doan panics a little bit, tries to hammer this away. It's blocked, or Dahlin, sorry. And then just get it to the front of the net. What an unbelievable shift. You imagine what we would be saying if that was like Hustadinov who did that? We'd be freaking out. What a huge goal. This Buffalo team's for real. If any of you guys want to doubt them, they are for real. That's that kind of moment you get when your team belongs here, and boy, do they belong here. I know this game hasn't been their game, but a little bit of doubt in Montreal's mind too. You can sit on that for the next 20 minutes while we get ready for period 3. Although we like this answer from Montreal. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Incredible. All right, lads and ladettes. Love you guys. I'm going to be back in about 10 minutes. Got to take care of the doggos. Try not to be, too inappropriate. I'll be back. Oh, we did. Buffalo actually wins the cup. I won't feel bad at all. I get that. What's worse, a team beating you to go on and win it or get swept in the next round? Depends on the team. Depends on the team. I like. You ever see those people? Maybe this is a mixed response here, but I've seen people in the past be like, I would rather I'd rather miss the playoffs than make it to the finals and lose. Now, if your argument is I would like to miss the playoffs and get a top 8 pick than make it to the finals and lose, I mean, top 5 pick, then we can have the conversation. But if someone's like, oh, I would have rather, had the 14th or 13th overall pick and not make it to the finals, I totally disagree. The enjoyment of getting to the finals, the fun that run is, and obviously the heartbreak at the end sucks. It sucks. But it's still like that's entertainment. It's fun and it's exciting and it's enjoyable. And I don't know. I find that to be a weird take, and I know a lot of people have that. And I'm not saying it's wrong. It's wrong for me, But I have always more of a it's entertainment, right? And that's an extra month and a half of entertainment and excitement. And even though it ends in heartbreak, it's still a lot of fun. Puck GM moves chat. Let's see them. Let's see what you guys would design for a team. What do you do? What trades do you make? Flashbacks to 2019. Sure didn't want Florida to win, but I'd love to see Buffalo to win the cup. I wouldn't even say I'd want to see Buffalo to win the cup. Right? I'd be happy for them. I also don't want those flashbacks. Okay. What is happening right now? My stuff's being weird. Oh, I see. Okay. Need heartbreak to make the moments of triumph feel all that much better. Yes, but also the elation of winning the first round. It's awesome. Second round, awesome. Third round, incredible. Like the heartbreak has to come. The heartbreak is what life is. Life is heartbreaks over and over and over and over again. But the good news is if you have those heartbreaks, it's because you had something exciting going on. Right? Like that's what life is. And an entertainment industry is that's it, right? That's the point. Is like the heartbreak is actually what keeps it alive because it's actually what fuels more attention and things like that. But the success is awesome. What people really don't tell you though, the pain does last a lot longer for like the 2013 final. The pain from that lasted longer than the elation from 2011. You never get to sit there and be like, oh my God, we're champions. Everyone you talk to is either bitter about it or they're like also a fan. Like, yeah, it's really cool. And then you kind of move on to the subject. It's the moment of elation that really matters. Are we in the Bork era? I hope not. Yeah, if you never get triumph, it sucks. But I've never met somebody who went through life without ever getting a triumph, Oh, I'm so looking forward to these pierogies. I'm just saying, I think it's decent life advice. Like the heartbreak has to come. You can't dread the heartbreak. You have to move forward and enjoy the excitement and the tension. And I've had to relearn that a couple times. I honestly, even the past couple of years has been struggles where you just struggle with it, Hold on one second. A-Bone. I'm literally streaming. I can't stay on the phone. You're on the phone with me while I'm talking to the lovely people who are watching this game. We're talking about how life is a series of disappointments. Game's great, though. Fuck you. All right, I'm going to go. That's a Canes fan, for what it's worth. More on a sports note, yes. We've certainly seen... there are a lot of people out there that have lived and died and never saw a sports championship while rooting for 4 sports teams. There's a lot of them, truly. Barely old enough to remember the 2011 Cup, but I remember 2013 and 2019 clear as day. Yeah, that's painful for sure. 2019 hurts me so much more than 2013. We were underdogs in 2013 for sure. Were we? I mean, we were. The Blues are riding a hot goalie and the refs swallowing their whistles. The one thing that really bothers me about that series is after game 3, they were like, you know what? We're changing the way we're officiating this series completely. We are completely changed the way we're officiating the series. And obviously that affected one team a lot more than the other. And then obviously the final 2 games, it was like, oh, by the way, we're not going to call the Blues for anything. And you're like, okay, cool. Is what it is, though. That's sports, man. You never walk away from a series like that without being bitter about something, and oftentimes it is the refs. I was actually very pleased. Obviously, the loss sucks, but pleased with this first round series against the Sabres because I'm not mad at the rest of that series. The Bruins lost that series. The Bruins lost to the Buffalo Sabres in that series. You could argue certain external things happened and blah, 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 but at the end of the day, I think one team outplayed the other team, and that team won, you know? Chicago deserved it. They sure did. They were a great team. It sucks the way it ended. Really the bigger factor there, but the record year first round bounce hurts more than 19. I agree, especially with 58 seconds left in the clock. You have a 1-goal lead in a game that you were down a couple of goals, and it just deflects off McAvoy's stick, top corner. And I mean, the Olmark goal that he gave up from an overtime in game 5. Yeah, just a lot there that you sit there and go, like, the universe. That was actually what I leaned into to accept it, is the universe said, fuck you. Not only are your top 2 centers, your Vezina-winning goaltender, your Norris candidate defenseman all injured for the first round. They're all hurting. But you are also going to get awful puck luck. It just sucked, man. It just sucked. Tough stuff. What are you going to do, though, right? What are you gonna do? Wow, the Red Sox have a lead? That's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of painful Bruins memories for sure. There's a lot of painful Boston sports memories in general, but I'm very lucky in the fact that I've seen a Bruins championship, a Celtics championship, 4 Red Sox championships, 6 Patriots championships. Like, the problem is I'm not the biggest NFL fan. Like, I mean, I guess at this point it is my second favorite North American sport, but yeah, I would trade basically all of those championships for 2 more Bruins championships. 2023 obviously sucks, but I find it becomes easier in hindsight with how dominant Florida has been with that run in recent years. They weren't a normal 8th seed by any means. They truly weren't, which is why they are my case study for what I just don't care about the format, like, changing. The 1-16, I don't like at all. Don't do 1-16. Don't do play-in games. 84-game season, you want to add hey, if you lose this last game of the year, though, you get knocked out of the playoffs. Fuck you. I hate it. The NBA can get away with it because it's like the better team so commonly wins. The better team statistically so commonly wins. Where hockey, it's a bounce, you know? Shoot, I was making a point here. But yeah, no. How often do you want to do a 7th, 8th seed that had injuries all year and just squeaked in, but is finally healthy and now they're a good team? Or I like that the rivalries happen a lot. I like that the Kings and the Oilers met 4 times in a row in the first round. Do you know why? Because the Kings are a boring ass, stupid team. And that was still wildly entertaining, especially when I got to the 3rd and 4th meeting, because they kept meeting each other. I like that. If you want to do it to like 1-8, 1-8 on each, fine. The 1-16 makes no sense to me. And the complaints about, well, Dallas and Minnesota had to play each other in the first round, so a great team gets knocked out in the first round. The NHL is the best first round in sports. And at the end of the day, you still have to beat the guys. You still have to beat the teams ahead of you. And we've also found that winning series early, sweeping teams, statistically, kind of a disadvantage for the next round because you get a week off and you're not playing every night like these other teams are. there's a lot to talk about there, but I don't have an issue with the current system for the playoffs. I just don't. The Marchand breakaway in Game 5. I know. God, I know. Especially watching him in the finals get a breakaway for the Panthers, and you're like, "Fuck you, dude." Yeah, the Red Sox have a lead. They do. How bad is their record right now? Actually, I haven't checked in. This is literally so. I haven't watched a ton of the Red Sox. I'm not a religious baseball fan by any means. I'm usually a playoff fair weather fan kind of guy. But we started third. Excellent. But they brought out for a start against the Yankees, and then they pull them. And they blow that game. But I'm just sitting there the whole time, like, fuck you. I was so excited, and you pull them for no reason. Like he had a little bit of a pinch you to get out of, but I just hated it. I hate the way the team operates. I hate the way they treat the players. I hate the way they treat the fans, and so I just had to take a second away from the team, as I do every year. 16 and 22. They can recover from that. Here we go. How early does Buffalo need to score to feel like they can do this? Because I think they can wait all the way till like the 8 minutes left and still feel pretty good about it. The prior experience, I could say. We'd like to see some more variety in the first round matchup. Seeing the Oilers Kings play 4 or 5 years in a row got pretty repetitive, in my opinion. So that's where the opinion side of things comes in, where I'm sitting there going like, this is great. I love it. Especially when one team keeps winning, because that's hilarious to me. Sox have the opposite issue as the Bruins. They didn't cling on to the 18 team enough. Interesting. Evaldi. Yeah. 9 minutes left. All right. How about this? A better question. When do the Sabres cut this to a 1-goal lead? When do they actually do it? Oh my God, they almost just did it. I have another work email, by the way. Jesus. My boy is the facilities manager for us, and he just sent out a 9 p.m. email on Friday. He's working a little late, huh? Huh? You hate to see it. I bet Buffalo scores in the next 4 minutes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This speed. Wasn't able to get it inside. Still, though. And there you go. It starts a possession for... Oh! It starts a possession for the Habs. And yes, now they're one and done and out, but still, that play is responded to with more speed from the rest of the team to allow that to turn into a scoring chance. These are the things we keep talking about, is you have to have these efforts come to something. How often do we watch the Bruins make one play like that, and then, of course, it's right back down the ice immediately? The Bruins have to find a way to support each other in these forward rushes. They have to. And we're seeing statistically more and more, the teams that are really good at rush offense, they're more effective. They won't. Montreal will score again. 4-2 final. Okay. All right. 4-2 final. My brain broke halfway through that. Got the feeling someone's scoring before the halfway point, just not sure who. Make a call. Tell me the player. Oh, I'm sorry. I am... Hold on. I'll tell you when we're at a good spot here. And there's like a delay from my stream getting to you, but we are at the 3-minute mark right now. Nice job, Dovish. I will find a way to put the time of the clock. This is what I want to do in the future streams when I actually have time to sit down and work on this. I am going to find a way to have the stream up, but the clock timer on the screen somewhere. And I want to cut out as much delay as possible. It used to be for a different reason, but I just don't think I need it now. Don't say sorry. Don't ever say sorry. Absolutely not. You don't got to apologize for that. It was a great question. Tuck gets it. Love it. Darlene. There you go. I think the next goal comes from Samuelson. No, Power. I think Owen Power is going to get one. Actually, is Power in this game? I haven't heard his name like at all. It's kind of normal for Power, though. You guys hear Larry back there barking? Larry, come here. Oh, so you can't do this blind through your skate self pass. Like, that's exactly what's going to get you in trouble. That's the young team side of things. Slavkovsky, that's a good one for sure, especially if it's a power play. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Was that Samuelson too? Who was that? Holy. Alex Carrier, of all people. That was Tage? Oh, oh my. Always feel free to spoil stuff in the chat too. There's a delay for your sake, not for mine. I never want to spoil something as someone who's streaming, but like you throw things in, I still get to watch it, you know? It happens fast enough too. Wow. Tage. 4-2 could be on the books. Hunter, yeah, you're so far, you're on it. That is a sniper Rudy and cheese. I'll give you that one. There you go. Smoking Chief with the same thought. Love that. I like how they're trying to do all this. Like, why is goaltending getting worse? It's because offense is getting better. Yeah, I'm not going to doubt the Sabres in this game, and I'm certainly not going to doubt them in the series. But did Montreal really needed that first game was very frustrating for Montreal, and so this was a really nice response for them. This feels like as 50-50 a series as can get, you know? We have a game. Oh, wait, do we have a game? Or are we about to get a Buffalo goal? Well, how far behind am I? We're about to find out. No, it doesn't look like. I'd have to be very far behind. And after the other prediction of the meme game. We love the memes, man. We love the memes. I can't believe Tage did that. Like, when's the last time you saw a blown tire quite like that? Putting some doubt into Alex Lyon, too, that's huge. Yeah, okay, so we're... Yeah, you're only about, 20 to 30 seconds ahead of me. It's not terrible. Larry, what are you barking at, brother? Come here. Say hello to your fans. Oh, he just wants to bark at, life. He's not a smart dog. He's not a good dog. He's not a kind dog. He's not a creative dog. But he is a cute dog. Fuck is he cute? He's a very cute dog. Called Montreal winning with no shots. Lions now facing an actual team. Rude, but accurate. Randomly remembered this, but did you see that Wotherspoon made Team Canada for the World Championships? Hell of a season that guy had. Chief, that would be cool, but so did Steve's. So, oh, Team Canada. Never mind. I realized I read that in my brain, But yeah, these rosters are truly not what they should be. I'm glad for Wotherspoon, though. I like that guy. Bruins ex players have found some success elsewhere. There's not a lot of Bruins that are out there like proving the Bruins wrong for moving on, though. You know, like playing well, but not in a way where you go, "Oh my god, I can't believe we let them go." We did get some good fights this year, which makes me happier. That's true. We did get some good ones. The first two Montreal games started with a fight. You had to have that. You had to capitalize on that. Yeah. Oh no, this game's over. This game's over. You had to capitalize on that. I can't believe that. Wow. And Buffalo's pushing. You like to see it. Let that rip. The tip attempt doesn't go. Back around the side of the net. And here's the thing: when Montreal breaks out, though, they're so dangerous. They do it so quickly. Tap that forward. Yeah, get it on net. Not bad. Who is 71 on the Sabres? 71 is McLeod. I've never seen McLeod be so passive in a defensive assignment before. That was weird. Frank Vetrano. What kind of actually? I don't even know what kind of season did Vetrano have this year. He signed one of the most ridiculous deals I had seen in God knows how long. Last year. I mean, I know he had a great season, but no one should have expected that to continue. Oh, I guess it wasn't that ridiculous. It was 4.5 million. That's not the end of the world. Let's see what his season was. 50 games played, 5 goals, 4 assists, 40 PIMs. The hell happened to Vetrano this year? What the fuck? If Frank Vetrano was your point for like guys we let go who are actually studs, he did have a great year last year, and I'll give you that, but I don't think he's quite proved us wrong. My beautiful, wonderful wife is safe in her hotel room in Georgia. We love to see it. I'm getting more work emails. What is happening? Holy. Does Worlds matter much for development, or is it just a fun thing? I think it's good. It's good games to play, high intensity. I think it's always helpful. Would have liked to keep Kepke on a cheap deal, but that's about it. Yes, our fourth line was good enough for me not to think about it. Cole Kepke is a damn dog. That guy plays some fucking hockey. Great save! Oh, get there, make this so good. I wanted that too. I wanted that breakaway for him. But he does get possession for the team. Good job, Benson, again. I'm constantly getting emails and texts and stuff about work. I don't I don't have an off time, so that just kind of happens. I do ignore them when I'm in these situations. Better than I am now. Been doing a bracket challenge with my buddies for the past 7 seasons. Loser has to hang a Toronto Maple Leafs flag in their home until the following playoffs and sign the flag. Yikes, dude. That's awesome. That sucks. That's awesome. Have you ever had to sign it? Dude or dudette, for what it's worth. That's brutal. All right. And I have a phone date with my wife later. This is great. I had DeBrusque do this year. Vancouver fans hate him. Sorry, get the hiccups. Yeah, not a stellar year. Not a stellar year. What did he have points wise? 42 points in 81 games, so not terrible. 23 goals. I don't think there's a popular player in Vancouver other than the guys that got in that trade for Quinn Hughes. Winner gets a jersey. That's awesome. You've had one season, one twice. Oh hell yeah, dude! Got a Patrice Bergeron authentic Winter Classic for the Chicago series. Hold on, hold on. Did you get like a made in Canada Winter Classic from the Chicago series? Like, how much did you spend on this jersey? Chief, I'm always going to be a DeBrusque defender because DeBrusque is the exact type of guy who should make 5 to 6 million in the current landscape. Streaky, but he'll give you 20 to 25 goals. He's responsible defensively. He's got speed, so he'll give you more possessions from work on the boards and forecheck. DeBrusque is a good hockey player, but the problem is he was drafted in the first round, and for some reason that's followed him through his career is that he should have turned into some superstar guy. He's just your prototypical middle six guy who gives you, 20 goals, 40 to 50 points, and is a useful utility dude. I like DeBrusque. The way the locker room stuff went and everything. Obviously, he had to move on, but I don't know. I think that oftentimes hockey fans get mad at these guys who aren't superstars, and they use the word streaky as an insult. Streaky is everybody who isn't a like 50 goal scorer. 320. You did say this is when you first did it 7 years ago, so that might actually make sense. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. That's really cool. Nice stitching authentic patches. Okay. A made in Canada authentic, I think probably goes for a bit higher than that. Um, sorry, I'm doing hockey jersey nerd stuff now, but that's fucking sick, dude. That's really cool. I got really excited about the semantics of it all. I'm sorry. We signing Zaka again. He's got one more year on his contract. It'll be very dependent on what the Bruins are next year because he would be a deadline trade candidate if the Bruins, for some reason, went back the other way. Didn't DeBrusque lose locker room morale over Pokemon cards? I don't know what you're referencing, so I'm not sure. I can't say yes or no to that. 100% agree with you. Don't worry, I ain't Court. I like DeBrusque well enough. Court has more insider information than I do. I'll tell you that much. I don't have time to deal with that. All right. Larry, come on. I want to see if Larry would come in here and say hello to the chat. I just want to see. The other game's about to start soon here too, right? Who do you guys got in the Ducks Knights series? Man, I'm getting these chills up my spine. I also have drank 4 beers now, so I got to pee again already. I have what my wife affectionately refers to as a TB, a tiny bladder. It hasn't hurt me thus far. My 12-year-old is mega into trading cards. I can't wait for her to get a job at 14. Yeah, I hear that's tough these days too. Scalpers and all. What kind of cards does she trade? I love these videos of the old hockey team wins. May Day was great. Do you believe in miracles is still the all-time hockey line for me. I don't know if it'll ever be trumped. Damn, early had a fucking start. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 8 Ks. Beauty. All right, it's 8:50 left in the third period, a 3-goal game. I don't know, guys. I think this one's over. Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Damn. That's I can see why you're excited for her to get a job. At 14, though, where's she gonna work? I said she. I think I made an assumption there. Where are they gonna work? Colby Old, but the original Masters of the Universe is still number one. That's pretty good. DeBrusk was featured in a video about Pokemon earlier this season. He made a joke about how the guys probably think he's a dork now, but as far as I know, there wasn't any actual drama from it. Ah, I see. I do like how in our minds, and hockey players do come into this fold far more than some other. But oh. Okay. In our mind, athletes are these, jocks, but oftentimes they're nerds like the rest of us. I mean, I've had stage in my life, huge Broadway musical nerd for a while there, playwright nerd for a bit there. I was a plant nerd for a second. Finish this. Oh, the save. They're going to get more from the possession, though. This is what I'm talking. And another one for the slot. This is a clinic right now. My God. Market basket hires them at 14. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know if that's awesome, actually. But still, great to teach that work ethic. Absolutely. I had a job at at literally 12 years old. I turned 12 and my father walked in and he's like, "Happy birthday. You have a job at the local farm." You guys ever go to the Red Apple Farm? Yeah, no. It's a little far from Boston, but yeah, I worked at the Red Apple Farm for years. Started when I was 12 years old. Phil Kessel, that's all I need to say. Feel the thrill, baby. Feel the thrill. I've got 3 Phil Kessel jerseys, I think. Maybe just 2. Maybe just 2. I haven't bought that in a while, so I haven't gone through my. Oh, Dobish, another big save. I haven't gone through my um, Google Doc of jerseys in a while. I don't even know if I've broken 100 yet. I've been sitting in the 90s for a long time, so I don't know. Was a nanny at 12? Yeah, times have changed for sure. Ever been to a Wegmans? I have not. Guys, I think the Habs have this. I'm saying this just to fuck with them, but this is over. The Habs have this one in the bag. What a game by the Habs, though, and what a game by Dobish. He has made some big saves. No call on that. Interesting. It's another work email. What's this call for? Makeup call? Probably. Make a call. I was 14. I started working at my dad's pizza place. As much as I love him, he's such a pain to work with. Working for a parent seems brutal. Unless it's like a Fortune 500 company where it's like, you know what? I worked my way up. My dad hired me. My collection started during the 03-04 season. I have a Pooh Bear, Mike New. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very nice. My collection's kind of all over the place, honestly. What up, Billy? Seeing your Kessel Coyotes jersey the other day was great. Phil being in Arizona is always a blind spot for me. Like how Marc-Andre Fleury played in Chicago for a season. That's right. He was in Chicago, wasn't he? Well, talk about blind spots. This is so over. They're on a penalty kill now. I mean, this is big. Steal home ice. Yeah, Benson is a very, very young Marchand for them. Did that not go in? I thought that was the back top post. Never mind. Wow. Back top, like underneath in the net crossbar. The words. Benson is the perfect playoff player, man. Yeah, he seems to know where the line is really well too. He doesn't cross the line too often in a situation that really hurts his team. Ooh, a shorthanded goal would go a long way. Yeah, off the post. Have you thought about making a video on your jersey collection? I have, and I've had that request before, and it's a great idea for a video. I just haven't sat down to do the work. I really need to. Lived in Seattle for 6 years. The second year I won my bracket challenge, I got a Kraken Beniers white. The Kraken whites are so clean. They're so nice. Ford final. Ford F-150 Final 5. That's right. Honestly, that does bring thoughts to my mind. The Bruins have not been a clutch team by any means. They have not been a team that can hold leads. They're just not a team you trust late in a period or late in a game. And I wonder what has to happen to truly change that. You know, and there's a piece of me that always believes that hockey teams are just like it's just bad luck. You know, they're not actually a choker. They're not actually like clutch. They're just you happen to do it. You happen not to do it. But it's happened enough for the Bruins where I'm just you know. What are your thoughts on the McAvoy Benson skirmish? Benson should have also been suspended. McAvoy should be just suspended. That's a completely like it's an egregious play after that. Uh, that's just frustrations boiling up. No one got hurt. Benson should have been suspended 2 games for that slew foot, and McAvoy should get 5-ish games for next season. Frankel just fumbled the puck into her own net with 28 seconds left. Boston sports in fucking shambles. The best goaltender in the world just put the puck in her own net. Jesus. Yeah, Boston sports just can't catch a break right now. Patriots stole all the damn luck. Love their branding. Just wish they had any excitement at all. They just never do enough to be a good team and can't seem to get lucky with the draft lottery to get a difference maker. They've only existed for a few years, but I'm with you. I was lucky enough to go to a Seattle game while this was last October. We were up there for a conference. And the showmanship, like you're saying, incredible. Incredible. It was perfect. Everything was awesome. It was the coolest environment. And they got smacked around by the Oilers. And I we have to remember that expansion teams aren't supposed to succeed right away, but they have actively mishandled their franchise over and over again. And it started with the poor hires. That team is horribly mismanaged, and they need from top down to reset. No, see, if I'm them, I do not throw it off for Sheet Robertson because you're like, I'm going to give up my next 4 first rounders to fill 1 hole that I have, but I have about 6 holes. Can't do it. Can't do it. That's too brazen. 4 first rounders. And I don't think you get protections on those. In fact, I'm fairly certain on an offer sheet, you don't get to protect your picks. The arena is amazing. It's incredible. I accidentally stole a lot of stuff. I accidentally stole a bunch of food because it was so busy and packed. I couldn't find the checkout area, and I eventually just got frustrated and walked away. And I had like 2 beers, some chicken nuggets, and fries because you have to like collect that at a different area. Yeah, I feel bad about it, but I don't actually. Thomas stole a Bruins jersey one time. If the Kraken is what wait, but the Kraken is what you would get if you took pasta off the Bruins, just a bunch of mad guys in front of a good goalie. If I would say we have a much better goalie than they do, but I see the point you're making. I would say you're close enough, right? Horseshoes and hand grenades and all those. What can we get for 2 firsts and 3 or 4 players? Talking a lot. We can get a lot. We can get a lot. Accidentally stole the Boston way. It's fair. I really didn't mean to. I just was getting frustrated, and I was like, the game's about to start. My fiance, now wife, baboom, is waiting for me. I'm out. I'm doing this. You guys made a terrible system where I can't even fucking find the checkout area. I'm out. Also, I mean, they're not going to miss that $160 for those 4 items, you know? 2 firsts and 3 or 4 players. Name the players, Taylor. We'll have that conversation. We'll have that conversation. Seattle was the first non-Bruins jersey I got. Absolutely loved it there. Yeah. I mean, it's a great franchise. Like the arena is awesome. The roof of that. So what's really cool about the arena is they had to rebuild it. I guess they, or maybe didn't have to, but did. But because the arena's roof is like a national landmark for them, I guess national is the wrong word, but it's like a protected landmark for them. They had to specially design a structure to like hold it up and then rebuild the building underneath it. How cool is that? I'm just saying the new jerseys for a season. What's your verdict? Uh, eh, fine. Not very exciting. Not the end of the world. Honestly, most jerseys when they come out, I'm kind of like, eh. I feel like it takes a lot for me to go like really bad, really good. 2 first, Steve's middle stat, Lori. Anything good coming from that package? Middle stat depends on the value of middle stat to a team, which is very varied right now. But yeah, 2 firsts will get you a long way. Lori is still positive value. Steve's is nothing. Like they'll just throw in. It depends on the team. If the team is like, we middle stat might be a throw in because of his contract, but if the actual deal is looked at as like we do want middle stat, but we're not willing to give up anything for him, like fine, we'll just get that money off our books. You're basically trading 2 firsts and Lori as far as the value there, and that would get you. I mean, it would get you a pretty solid player, like a non superstar, non star player. Good, damn good defenseman for that, though. Damn good defenseman. Can we petition for the stream to continue? It's done. I'm going to be here till the end of the game, but then I have to call my wife because she's out of town and she does not sleep well if I am not next to her. So, you know, she got a horse show. She got back into horseback riding a couple of years ago, and she's able to rent a horse and do the training and stuff. It's been she used to do it as a little girl, and now she finally gets to get back to it. So occasionally she goes out of town for these horse shows. Who took the timeout? Oh, Buffalo did. Oh, power play. Okay. Uh, I don't know what the point of a timeout here is. Hunter, your prediction is not in the books, but I think you were the only one to be like, Buffalo doesn't fucking sniff anything here. It's over. Smoke, we're going to be doing more of these too. Rest assured. I promise this year. This has been the most active live streaming as far as like a few weeks span in a row the channel's ever seen. And I want to do more of it. Yeah, the horse shows are great because I get to go there. Unfortunately, when it's hours away, it's a little less great, but I'll go in and just sit by the ring in nice weather and I'll just chill for hours. Put my phone down and just relax in the sun for a bit. It's a nice, refreshing reset. And the love of my life gets to do something that she's like passionate about, which she gets to do at work too, actually, because she's an animal lover through and through. But she recently started jumping again, which is scary as shit, but she's crushing it. Little jumps for now, but still. Monty sticks around in St. Louis. Could you see Lori being traded there since he played well under him? I think St. Louis is going to be an active partner in trade calls in the offseason. So I absolutely could envision that. It has less to do with Jim, though, and more to do with just them having a lot of what do you even call it? They kept talking about trading away their best players. Just a lot of awkwardness to that franchise right now. I don't know what their plan is. Olay chance at Buffalo's barn, that's rough. I mean, it's 5-1, right? Look at the empty stands. Holy. You don't love to see that. And maybe unpopular opinion, I don't like abandoning my team like that. I will sit there till the end of the game. I know, like, getting out of the parking lot sucks and whatever, but I want to sit there and see my boys through it. You know? That's what I mean, though, by the way. Benson, like, penalty, bad, whatever, but the game's already over. He doesn't cross the line when the game's on the line, I don't think. I think he does a good job of that. You know, honestly, if I'm the ref, after that play is done, I don't call that there. After that play is done, I walk over to him like, hey, next game, I saw all that. This game we're getting over with, we're getting out of here, but you start fucking around again, it's getting called the first time. I would say a good enough effort by Buffalo tonight. Couldn't seem to finish. I'd be interested in the shot chart because I do think Montreal has largely had a good job of keeping it to the outside. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. Montreal has found a lot of space in front of the net, but they've been really good about limiting Buffalo to the outside. That's what you're looking for. I do got to say that Benson play to get that goal, the one goal the Sabres got, though, just incredible. Like, that's the kind of stuff you're looking for in the playoffs. And your best player, Tage, ending the game for you, basically, by just whacking his dick against the ice in a moment where he forgot how to skate. Brutal. 53 seconds left. This one's all over. I love a tied series, tell you what. And the Red Sox won? It's getting chippy, too. I am going to have to end this pretty quickly, unfortunately. I love you guys. I really do. Really, really do. But we got to cool it here. Because I want to remind you two things. One, I got to call my wife. And two, 11 p.m. pierogies. And I'm getting a little more fucked up before I get there. Very excited about that. Chief, the fuck, I almost said fuck charity. The fuck cancer charity. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for chatting with me. $10, so very generous. Fuck cancer. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hasmic, sorry about the delay, but thank you for the play-by-play. That was really fun for me. Can you and Hogdale call some games together? Let's do it. Hunter, have a great night. Buck, I appreciate that. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Share with your friends if you consider it. Split in half, but they head to a deadly environment. Hell yeah, they do. God, I can't wait to go to a game at the Bell Center. I really can't wait. Midwest Glue, thank you for hanging out. Great to see you. Great to see you. This was a good game. This was fun. We talked about all sorts of stuff. Obviously, I think we honestly didn't even talk about the game that much. We talked about all sorts of stuff, but I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you for making this so enjoyable for me. Always people to talk to, and that makes a huge difference. But I hope you have a great night, and we'll be back. I don't know exactly which game. I kind of want to get one of the Sunday games, but actually, who do we have Sunday? I have to make sure that I'm not double day in this for her horse show. I really hate to miss anything she's doing because I just think that's really important to be supportive when you can be. Another 7 p.m. We get game 3. Maybe Sunday. I'll let you guys know in the Discord. I'll tweet it as well, but I will keep you guys posted for the next live stream so we can hang out together again. How many games is this series going to? God, I hope it's 7. God, I hope it's 7. Blackhawk, thank you so much for chatting. Yes, I'll enjoy the pierogies. I really appreciate it. But I'm going to end it here. Thanks again for hanging out. Thank you for all the charity as well. believe it's Chief and it's Evo. I gotta say, Evo sounds correctly to me. With the big charity donations, I really appreciate that. And fuck cancer, obviously. But you guys rock. And as always,